Hello friends, welcome. We are here to play a D&D Princess game. I'm glad that you're here. If you don't know me, my name is Josh. I'll be the host and DM today. Very quickly, before we get started, I just want to talk about why we're doing what we're doing. We are fundraising for RAIN, an organization that helps people who have been hurt by harassment, abuse, horrible things of that nature, things that have no place in our community. But it is unfortunate that sometimes these things pop up. And so we want to actively do what we can to help those who have been affected. And that's our goal here today. I believe these issues are intersectional, that they are not just for one group of people, but they are something that affects all groups of people, whether that be disabilities, whether that be people of color, and it's Pride Month, so we can also recognize that our members of the LGBTQ+ community are affected by these issues as well. It is something that we can all agree needs to be addressed. And I forgot to turn that alert sound off. Yeah. As we do that, let's just go around and introduce ourselves. Megan, if you'd be willing to get us started.
I'm awake now. Hey, I'm Megan Kenrick, and I'll be playing Delilah Darkwave. I'm a level 11 mermaid warlock, or murloc. My mom is Queen Ursulia, and my dad is King Trident. You may have heard of them. They're divorced now, but my mom still spoils me with powers. My dad doesn't really approve of that, but whatever. She gave me this really cool shell necklace. It lights up sometimes, and I really know why. I also have two baby dire anglerfish as familiars. Their names are Shells and Louise. Shells is gold, and Louise is really nosy. My favorite bands are Bowie Division, Nine Inch Shells, and System of a Downdrift. I'm happy to be here.
Amazing. Thank you. Shelby.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I will be playing Ray, who is a level 11 war cleric. And she's basically just, kind of like her little golden girl who's surprisingly really strong, even though she might not look it. And she has a little dog that sometimes barks when trouble is near, and sometimes because he maybe thinks trouble is near, but it was just someone closing a door or something. So, he might make an appearance. But she's, happy to be with all of her princess besties.
Yeah. Danny.
Hello, and I'm playing Estelle. Estelle is from the kingdom of Andalasia, based off of Giselle from Enchanted. And she's a Sun Soul monk who has an animal familiar named Squeak. And she's just really excited to have a break. She has been traveling far and wide, visiting many lands and other dimensions, and she just really needs some time off.
Yeah. Shannon.
Hi everyone, I'm Shannon and I will be playing Sorsha Egan. And she is a level 11 warlock, and she has like a love-hate relationship with a certain someone whose name starts with an H. Pretty sure y'all know who it is. And
Yeah. And hold up. I tweaked sound and I know what I did. Okay. Great. Thank you. You said you had a Pegasus named Pegasus. That's right. That's the last little bit.
Pegasus
Perfect.
named Pegasus.
Cool. Got it. Sorry about that. I was playing with alert sounds and hit something else. And last but not least, we've got Lily.
Hey, it's me, Lily Sparks, the girl with many lives. Today I'm going to be playing Princess Koku's. She might have a familiar look to you because, once upon a time I was running around a forest with a peasant who ended up being my best friend, but then I couldn't build my summer resort on his village anymore, so I had to come to this mountain resort instead. And I'm not a llama anymore, which is great, but I am a woman because one time when I was a llama, I dressed up as a woman, and I decided that was cool now. So, yeah, Princess Koku's is ready to go.
Hey, that's pretty great.
Love it.
I feel like the llama is a good animal, so we should stick with that.
I'm going to be the worst bard, just so everyone knows.
Or the best bard. Excellent. Okay, so as we start our session today, you are enjoying your annual week-long vacation in this beautiful manor-style house in the mountains, conveniently located fairly centrally for all of you, as if we're in some kind of fantasy story where travel details just work out magically. We are in the kingdom known as Akapis, which I believe would be familiar to all of you as kind of a neighboring kingdom, but not one that any of you are from. Every year, you come and travel to this beautiful location with your retinues, servants, all manner of royal ensemble in tow. It's not quite as nice or lavish as your respective castles and palaces, but for a very large house, it is more than sufficient. While we're here, you're able to enjoy small-scale social gatherings. You're able to go hunting, have parties, teas, dances, whatever you would choose to do to relax. This is a vacation. And while it's not the beach, you don't have shells at your feet or the beautiful sound of oceans around you. You get to enjoy a different kind of getaway in the mountains. So that's kind of what you've been doing. Before we get everyone into the same scene, I just want to touch very quickly. Last night, Sorsha, you had an interesting dream, you think. A visitor, after you had gone to bed, you had called it a night and had a vision. And somewhere this vision went from, you think, being a dream to being reality, as Hades himself, a very gray-skinned individual with blue fiery hair, wearing these black necrotic-looking robes, appeared. And this is no unfamiliar sight, as you and he have spoken many times before. Indeed. In this vision, you initially started off in the Underworld as he addressed you, and then slowly it shifts to be here in the manor where you are as the scene takes place, just to give a lay of the land before we get started. So he appears, you see him, blue hair, he seems pleased, confident as he addresses you. Sorsha, it's been so long. I've been missing you. When are you going to come back to visit?
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Oh, don't give me that, baby. It's been so long.
Not long enough. What do you want?
Oh, well, we were talking a while ago, and I seem to recall telling you about a certain teensy-weensy little plan of mine. Do you recall that?
Can't say it rings a bell. Might need to give me a refresher.
Yes, okay. I'll humor you, because surely you remember everything I've told you as your patron. Anyways, yes. Well, I seem to recall telling you that I have plans. In fact, I have plans that are in motion, coming very, very quickly. Do you recall one time we talked? I seemed to promise you that you could be princess not over one kingdom, but all the kingdoms, if you would help me conquer the overworld.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, let me just tell you. You should keep your eyes open. I think something might happen very soon, and I feel like it would be beneficial for you to help when the time is right.
I'm here on vacation. I don't know why you decided to show up now, but I'll think about it. And none of my friends are going to get hurt, right?
Well, that depends. Are they going to try to stop us?
I don't think so.
Good. I expect you'll keep it that way.
I'll do my best.
Remember, your soul is mine.
You never let me forget it.
It was your choice.
Stupid choice, but yes, thank you for the reminder. Appreciate it, as always.
And with that, he turns and walks out the door through this dark, shadowy portal, disappearing, for you to return to your slumber, should you be able to. The next morning, as is very common here in this kind of slow-paced, relaxing environment, you take your time with breakfast. It would be served in your rooms, with waiters and servants coming in to offer you whatever meal you would like. Eggs, fruit, meats, breads, anything that you desire is available. And slowly, as you prepare for the day ahead, you would eventually all convene for kind of a late morning tea, or perhaps coffee, if that's your beverage of choice, to set plans for the day. So, what would you all like to do?
I would just probably look over at everybody and say, "Ugh, it's been a wonderful morning. I just had the most incredible crepes for breakfast. How are you all doing?"
Is she always this energetic?
Yep, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Oh,
but,
thank you. I appreciate that compliment.
I had a great morning too. I'm just so happy to be here with all of you. And look, it's just such beautiful weather outside. It's a great day.
How'd y'all
We
sleep?
should just buy this resort for ourselves.
I think so. That's a great idea.
Wonderful
God,
laugh.
David Spade's hardest voice. David Spade's voice is so hard to do.
You're doing great.
Ah,
Oh,
How did y'all
There's no
sleep last
ocean
night?
near. There's no ocean near here. I guess it's okay. Does this place have any seaweed salad by any chance?
Mm.
oh, I'm sure we could ask. I feel
would be
like they have
great.
everything.
Yeah, but is it really any good?
Well, it's probably not as good as what my mom used to make, but she just walks into the nearest kitchen that she can find and finds like a full coffee pot and starts drinking it.
That's the kind of
my.
service that people need.
and as
You
this
need
is
to get
going
on
on,
Estelle's level.
servants would be coming in, offering you, like, if you mention a seaweed salad, within 2 minutes, there's a seaweed salad right in front of you. Like they are waiting on you hand and foot, because that's literally what they get paid to do.
Oh wow, the service is pretty fast here. Thanks. Just takes a bite of it.
Hey, hey.
Not bad.
I look over to the servants and I'm like, while you're all doing that kind of stuff, maybe you can lay down a beat and we can get some morning jams going on. Not like spreading jams, but you know, my groovy jams.
Oh, yes, of course.
Never say no to an opportunity to dance.
Yes, and one servant runs out, and about 5 minutes later, in comes a group of minstrels with a smattering of instruments, something percussion, something stringed, and they give you a little upbeat tune to enjoy your time this morning.
Oh yeah, boom baby! And I start dancing around while piling up plates full of whatever foods and just very elegantly running around, grabbing stuff.
Well, I won't say I'm in love, but that's a pretty good beat.
I need to learn this dance number.
Delilah stands up with her pot of coffee and tries dancing, but like she was a mermaid not too long ago and she's still in the process of morphing and using her legs, so she still has like a little fin sticking out of her ankle, so she's kind of like haphazardly dancing around, spilling her coffee everywhere.
Yeah, those legs are tough to use at first. It takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, Ray's wearing like chainmail, so she's just like kind of like clunkily,
Keep the beat.
like just like basically shuffling back and forth, but is like kind of slow, so she's just like just missing it each time.
Oh yeah. Koku's is not paying attention. She is just assuming that everyone is dancing amazingly, but her eyes are all closed as she's like spinning around.
It's probably better that way.
Amazing. Yeah. And this goes on for a few minutes before the keeper of the house. You would recognize him as a older gentleman. He's probably in his 80s by now. It's honestly amazing that he is still in as good of health as he is, but you know what they say about the mountain air. It's quite good for you, and this is fantasy, so he can be as healthy as we want, and is a spry old 80-year-old man. And as he enters the room, dressed in a fancy outfit, kind of like this one that I'm wearing, would address you and say, good morning, everyone. I hope it's all right. I have planned a couple of things for our itinerary today. We do have a horseback ride first thing in the afternoon, and then I've taken the liberty of putting together a small dinner of about 100 or so people this evening, and perhaps a little dance afterwards. I can see you've already gotten started.
I throw an arm over his shoulder and I go, "Hey, my man, Resort Man. Yeah, that all sounds amazing. Maybe for that little party you're getting together, 100 people, maybe we add that to like 150 for all of the extra dance beats, background dancers, blah!" And fireworks go off behind me. Do I have prestidigitation as a spell?
You do now.
I do. Fireworks go off behind me.
Excellent. And he's like, oh, yes, of course, we could invite more guests. Perfect. I would be honored. I will go ahead and send out invitations. And as he goes about doing some whatever administrative work he does, you're not really sure, and it doesn't really bother you, frankly, because it's beneath you. You have people for that. As this happens, a couple more moments pass before you see a messenger enter the door. And you can tell that he's been running all day. And it's probably, maybe 2 days travel from the nearest castle. And this would actually be Ray, your parents' castle. As he comes in, you might even recognize him as someone who's taken a message for you once or twice before. Reliable, young, probably like 17 years old, but good enough. And as he comes in, he's panting, dripping with sweat, before approaching someone in your retinue in order to gain permission to speak with you all. And there's a little whispering, hushed voices as they figure out the details before what would be your, I guess your lady-in-waiting, your first main servant. Ray will come over to you and say, Your Highness, the messenger here has come with urgent news from your parents. I imagine you'd likely like to hear it.
Well, of course. Yes. Send him over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And she'll go back and tell this young man to walk over, and he'll address you all, and as he approaches is like bowing way too far, to the point where it's like a 90-degree angle, and is approaching very slowly, trying, to be as respectful as possible. And when he finally arrives, he dips even a little further before addressing you all. Your Highnesses, I come with word that there are strange, demonic, hellish portals cropping up just a few days' ride away from here. I know that you're enjoying a lovely stay, but I'm been sent to inform you, first of all, to be careful, and second, to see if you might be willing to help. It is just on the other side of the mountain, although traveling around the mountain could be quite difficult this time of year.
I'll help. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Demonic portals, you say? Yeah. I'm down.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes, very demonic portals, kind of bluish and blackish and grayish. It's a bit frightening. No one knows what to do.
Well, I mean, we've got to go. I mean, there are people in trouble. We can't just let them be in trouble, right? It's our duty.
As rulers, we have to take care of them.
Listen, all of you want to go rushing in to go fight some swirly purple portals and all that, but I just got back from an almost life-ending adventure, and I sure am eager to go on another one. But you know what the #1 rule of portals is?
What?
No touchy. No touchy. No touchy. That is
Why
my
not?
one condition. Also, I want to own this resort afterwards.
I have some
Well,
experience with these portals, so we might as well go take care of them as soon as we possibly can, so we can get
It's
back
true.
to relaxing.
They could be very dangerous. Anybody could fall through them. I've had that happen to me.
Yeah, no touchy. Number one rule, everyone remember, no touching. No touching.
Well,
Got it.
I believe we have many ranged attackers here. I mean, hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure we could borrow horses or some other means of getting there quickly.
Oh,
That
yeah.
shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, I've never been on a land horse before. I've only been on seahorses, so I'll do my best. But I
Very
think between
similar.
the 5 of us, we should be okay, right? We should be okay.
We should be fine.
It should be
Yeah,
fine.
certain death probably, but we won't worry about that. What's important is that the party must go on.
Got to keep that groove.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
All right. As you are having this discussion, the messenger has bowed again and has slowly backed away, trying to, not invoke any wrath or ire. Not that you would be the type of people to do that, but it's just kind of, it's best practice as a messenger to be a little too polite. As this is happening, the owner of the resorts kind of steps over and says, "Oh, yes, I understand that perhaps we're going to have to cancel dinner."
Right. Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, we got some important business to take care of.
Totally
More wedding
fine.
Stuff.
It's rather important, I feel like, that you protect the respective kingdoms from this incursion.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We got it.
The
But
messenger...
maybe you could pack us something to go, because I'm going to get a little hungry on the trip.
Oh, yes, of course. I could put together a quick 3-course lunch for you to take on the road.
That
Oh, it'd be
sounds excellent.
wonderful.
Yes, the messenger did mention that it was on the other side of the mountain. I have never traveled through this path, but one of my men knows a passage through the mountain. If that be preferable, I understand that it's rather dangerous, but the alternatives are, I suppose you could go over the mountain. It's cold. It is, a mountain and there's snow on top. But I feel like going around might take too long, although I could give you horses to speed that up.
Who is this man that you have? Because the last time a man dragged me around the mountains, I almost died. He did end up becoming my best friend, which is cool, but I need to do better reference checks on my staff nowadays,
Oh, yes, of course, that is an unfortunate thing, but I'm glad that you are quite well and gained friendship. How
Yes.
excellent. It is one of my hunters who often catches the fine meals that we have here. Any kind of venison or something of that nature is likely something that he's got with his bow.
All right, let's bring him out and see what he's got.
All right, yes, let me just go send for him very quickly, and he'll kind of rush out in that way that someone who's clearly panicking but trying to hide the fact that they're panicking would do, where, you can just tell by the way he holds himself. It's just, very oh goodness, something terrible has happened. But he's doing his best to manage. As he rushes out, you'll have a moment among yourselves to speak if you'd like to discuss strategies or options.
So, you said you knew about these portals, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, and Koku's is right. Don't touch them.
What happens if you touch them?
Well, let's just say it's a one-way ticket to the Underworld.
Oh. I do not think I'd like to go there.
No. No, you definitely don't. Very gloomy.
That somewhere you've been before?
Most unfortunately. Yep.
This underworld, does it have lots of blinking lights and loud sounds and people and cars everywhere?
Well, it has people, but, souls more like. But,
Oh,
yeah.
that
no,
doesn't
it's
sound like the place I've been to.
no, they're definitely different. But, yeah, I don't think we should be touching them. But I think Ray had a great point about shooting from afar. I think that would be the best thing to do.
I wonder what the music is like in the Underworld. It's probably pretty metal.
Yeah, it can be.
Maybe a
At
little
times.
screamo.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. There's a lot of that. Don't like to spend a lot of my time there.
No.
For those of
I
you
don't
that
really
don't,
like screamo that much.
It's definitely got a downbeat.
Mm,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, I definitely won't go into the portals then.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, yeah, I don't know who I told about this lovely little mark here, but pretty sure he's got something to do with it. So don't worry, I'll handle it. I'll take care of it. Me and him go way back.
Wait, does someone own your soul?
Yeah.
Me too!
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's
Mom.
great. I mean,
My
not
mom's
great,
really
but...
controlling.
Oh, man.
She's always telling me what to do, but like she gives me all these powers, and like
That doesn't seem
if
fun.
I disobey her, then she takes my powers away, and she's just really
man.
mean.
What a sea witch.
She is a sea witch. That's what everyone calls. Do you know her?
I think I've heard of her. I think my my person might know each other.
Yeah.
I think they
sound
all
like
have
would
some
get
sort
along.
of have some sort of little villains group or something.
Daddy support club, yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a villain.
Ah.
She's a cat now, though, so it's okay.
Ah.
In fact, here's my animal familiar. And I
Oh.
reach into my
Excellent.
bag, I guess, and I pull out a very fluffy white cat, and all you hear it say is, "I will curse you into the ends of the earth, and you will never get away from me." Yeah,
Is that
don't
her
worry
vo-
about her.
Is that her
she's a
voice?
cursey kitty.
Is that
Yeah.
her voice?
That is my voice. You hear from inside the bag. That is my voice.
Ah,
Don't
well,
don't mind her. Don't mind her. She's good. She just needs a little nap, don't you, kitty? And then you just hear from inside the bag.
Oh God, that's amazing. At this moment, there is you see a gentleman walk through. He is dressed in mainly brown and green colors. You can tell from his attire that he is definitely a woodsman of sorts. He's got a bow slung over his back. And as you see him enter, he immediately looks like the kind of person you would expect to be a hunter. And you're not entirely sure. Well, I don't know that any of you would know him, but he's got that kind of innocent look on his face that comes from someone who probably couldn't hurt a fly if they tried.
I have a question for him.
Sure.
You don't by chance work for any evil queens, do you?
No, I don't. Why do you
Never-
ask?
No reason. You've never been sent on a mission to kill anybody?
Never kidnapped any princesses.
No. Why would I do that?
Just making
What
sure.
is it? What's your name there, pal?
Hey, my name's Adam.
Your name's Hay.
Good joke, Your Highness.
Hey.
That name sounds made up.
What, Adam? Yeah. Uh-huh. If you want it
I
to be
don't
made
believe
up,
you.
yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
I
talk
don't
to
think-
royalty.
I don't think that's your name.
Oh, okay. What should my name be then?
I think his name is Adam, Delilah. What do
Okay,
you thi-
Adam.
Yeah, what it should be.
Okay,
Oh.
Adam.
Okay. Okay, Your Highness. So, I've been told that you need to go to the other side of the mountain.
That is correct.
Yeah, there are 3 ways to
Okay.
get there. I don't know which one you'd like to go. We could go over the mountain. It's kind of snowy, but I've got snow boots if you want them. Or we could go around. And we got horses that you can borrow, obviously, because, you got the money for it. And that'd probably be like 2 days, just because it's a big mountain. Or there's a secret tunnel through the mountain, but it's really dangerous. There's like these really like nasty creatures who hide down there, and they attack people that go through the passage. It's pretty scary.
Well,
Now,
I
are
don't
you
know.
saying scary for you or scary for us super talented, magical, high-level princesses?
Oh, it's scary for
There's
me.
a big difference.
Yeah, no, I'm terrified.
I think we should
should be
take the
fine.
shortcut because nothing bad ever happens when you take shortcuts.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
That-
the cold never bothered me anyway, so I wouldn't mind going up to the mountain. But it might be faster to take the shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
had
as fast as
enough
possible.
running around mountains.
Let's buy some horses and take the shortcut.
All
This
right.
should be interesting.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the horses will at least get you to the shortcut. It's kind of dark and scary. It's a very narrow tunnel. I don't know if the horses will be able to go through it, but that'll at least, cut a couple hours off at the time.
Don't
Be
worry.
pretty good.
We can tie our
Okay.
own sandals and everything.
Oh, great.
Can-
Cool.
When you get us our sandals, can you make sure to get the right one and one size larger?
Yeah. Sure.
Thanks.
I could do that. And should I get y'all like torches and stuff too? Because it's gonna be dark.
Yeah.
Ray just pulls out her mace of disruption, and it starts shedding light in like a 20-foot radius. It's like I think like I don't really need a torch because I've got this.
Oh wowee, that's a really neat trick.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. I think that'll be fine. I'll just get some horses. Do you want to meet me at the stable in like an hour? That way, I have time to get all the horses.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't need a horse,
Sure.
but thank you.
Okay, I won't get you a horse then, if you don't want one.
And with that, I am going to cast Conjure Animals. And I am going to pull Yzma out of the bag. And she's all like, your destruction will be my glory. And I just go like, bloop. And she turns into a horse.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I love that. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you have an hour of time. If there are any discussions or specific preparations you would like to do before then, we can do that. But I'm also willing to, in the interest of time, just fast forward to that point if there's nothing you would like to do. The owner of the resort will gladly prepare you food. If you choose to bring any of your retinue along, they can carry that for you, or you could package it nicely and put it in your own saddlebags. Your choice.
I'm just going to be walking around the area with Yzma the horse because she's still kind of mad. So, I'm just going to be trying to be like, yeah, well, you turned me into a llama, so now you're going to be a horsey for me and bring me to this thing so I can defeat these portals. And then I picture Yzma's horse voice to be more like, you were the worst emperor that ever was. Yeah, well, Yzma, now I'm not an emperor, I'm a princess, so this is how it goes. And you'll just see Kokus and the horse just walking around having those
Doing
conversations.
laps.
I am so here for
Doing
this.
laps, bonding. That's how we do.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
Okay. Any other prep that we would like to do before you embark?
No, but one of my eels I hear splashing around in my backpack, so I take my backpack off and open up the lid, and it's Louise, and she's like, "Why can't you turn me into a horse?" And then just goes back down into the water and swims around. It's like one of those backpacks with the clear plastic cover that's full of water.
Mm-hmm. So it's a fishbowl, but it's a backpack.
Exactly.
Amazing.
A bowl pack.
I love it.
Now,
Okay.
I have a question, DM.
Yes.
I mentioned that my familiar was a mini Pegasus.
Yes.
Can I retcon that and make it a full-size Pegasus?
Would you like to have a full-size Pegasus?
I would love to have a full-size Pegasus.
Yes.
Can it be both? Can it
That's true. Maybe
What
it's
if-
Like,
a
add
size
water?
changing.
What if you could make it large when you need to ride on it, but then make it small when, you need it to be out of the way for things like combat?
Excellent. Let's do that.
Perfect. That,
Thank you.
I love this idea. We're going to do that. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Alrighty. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and fast forward to that point. You get there, and Adam's like, here, I've got all your horses. Oh, you've got your own, that's fine. Okay.
I am not a horse. I am the greatest sorcerer in all the lands.
Nah, you're a horse.
Your horse has wings, that's pretty cool. None of mine do. And he like looks and starts trying to like count how many horses there are. And oh, I think I have one too many. And he'll just like hand a horse off to a stable hand to like go take back in and put back. So yeah, it's gonna be a couple hours ride, and then we're gonna get to the entrance of the cave, and at that point, it's probably we're gonna have to tie the horses up because it's not really safe for them inside. You'll see, it's kind of bad. So we can embark on this little ride. This is a great opportunity for me to give you a little bit of exposition as Adam explains what you should expect here in the cavern. He tells you that it is a long tunnel that goes through the mountain from one end to the other. And as you pass through, very early on, there is a small colony of these kind of reddish-brown, very short, lizard-looking creatures. And then they seem intelligent. They're actually quite vindictive on anyone who trespasses in their territory. They have, and he isn't quite able to explain what they are, but he explains that there are traps that they set. These nasty things that will hurt you or scare you, and it seems like he's maybe got some experience being harmed by these creatures. And so his recommendation is, leave the horses and just get through as fast as possible because it's terrifying. If anyone would like to make an insight check, you're welcome to do that to determine what exactly it is that's terrifying.
I'll do one.
For
Yeah,
him.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do one.
Please be my guest.
I'll like walk up to him and
See
be
what
like,
you did there.
Excellent.
So I got a 2 plus 8 for 10.
Oh yeah.
18 for me.
Okay.
I got 19.
15 for me.
19? Okay. Okay, I think anyone who got more than a 13 would recognize that this description is vaguely fitting of a kobold. They are small, clever creatures, kind of territorial, not necessarily evil so much as very protective of their own space. And they do tend to live in these underground environments. If you got an 18 or higher, so I know that's a couple of you, you would also recognize, I think, in his voice and in his mannerisms, he is had a run-in and doesn't really seem to want to talk about it because it might have been mildly traumatic. And you're not sure what that might entail. He's got some scars.
Buddy.
Poor
Where did you
guy.
get those scars from?
So
Just
what?
I fell, and then I kept falling on spiky stuff, and also like burny stuff, and also like slippery stuff.
Sounds like there's some traps ahead. Would you say that?
I did say that there are traps ahead. Yeah.
You did.
Uh-huh.
Must have missed that. My apologies.
It's okay. Sometimes when I talk, people tune out because it's very monotone and no one really like hears any inflection in my voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe if you started singing your words, they might understand it better.
That's a really good idea. I'll try that sometime when I'm alone.
Oh, you're with friends, though.
We all do like to sing.
Okay, maybe later.
No, but my half sister likes to sing, but I'm really not that good at it.
Oh, you're only saying that because you haven't practiced. I'm sure
That's
you've got
true.
a beautiful
That's true.
voice.
This shell has a beautiful voice, but yeah, I need to practice a little bit more.
I don't know about all of you, but I'm an amazing singer. And Koku's is going to start singing a song. And gosh, what do I sing out loud? I'm just gonna start singing Hey there, Delilah, what's it like under the sea? I got so many llamas, but you're the only one for me. Hey there, Delilah. And it sounds bad, but I'm gonna roll a performance, and I have
Please
a plus
do.
13. So that's a 27.
Oh my god. Excellent.
Is Delilah
Delilah's
in
just
love?
completely enamored.
Like,
Wow.
Adam
Did you
stops.
just write that?
Yeah, I was
You're
inspired.
such a poet.
Oh, thanks. I'm more of a dancer, but I'm also a poet. You know, the time in the mountains has really opened up a lot of introspection inside of me.
Are you in a band?
No, but that's an amazing idea that I should definitely do soon.
I think that we should all be in a band.
I like
Yes.
that idea.
I love that idea.
For sure.
Love it.
And Adam's
God, David's
jaw dropped, and he's just like, that was amazing. I've never heard anyone sing like that before.
I know. But you can too. All you gotta do is get your groove back.
Yeah,
Little shoulder punch.
okay, I'll work on that. That's first thing I'm gonna do right after we get to the other side of the mountain.
But make sure that you don't throw off anybody else's groove.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want that.
Okay.
That's why you do it alone before anyone can hear you. But then you'll be good, and then you can do it with others, and then you get their groove going.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I could do that. And as you get to the mouth of this cave, it is probably right here, maybe 10 feet tall, and a little bit narrower than that. And there are a couple of trees nearby that you could tie up your horses. For those of you who have horses that are not also your animal familiar, and Adam will kind of get out and do this thing and tie his horse to a tree. And as he does, he kind of pulls out a torch and lights it and offers it to anyone who wants. Obviously he kind of gestures at you, Ray. I know that you've got kind of your own thing, but if anyone else would like a torch, it's dangerous down there, and I think this will help at first, but maybe when we get close, we should be careful. I don't know. They're really dangerous.
I'm like not really listening as I'm standing there with the rope and debating tying up my cat to the tree and leaving Misa there because Misa was so rude. And I'm like, nah, you can come. And I put her in my bag.
Okay.
I tell Pegasus to shrink.
Yeah, and he just whoop, just poops down into a little tiny little Pegasus.
I think as my little chipmunk friend Squeak gets off of the horse is gonna breathe a sigh of relief, and I'm gonna just be like, you did a very good job. I know Squeak can be a little bit heavy sometimes, but you did a great job.
Excellent. Yeah. So as you enter. Oh, sorry.
I
didn't
just
mean to cut you
realized
off.
I'm a human, which is something that I usually don't play. So I'm going to use my druid craft to light a candle. A torch? Yeah, I have a torch. I'll light a torch with my druid craft. I can do
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll have my mace out too, so that'll be shining light
Okay.
as well. She doesn't mind taking the lead.
Okay. If you would like to take the lead, you can. Let's actually determine our marching order, because it's just narrow enough that probably single file is the way to go here. And Adam is happy to be in the front or in the back or wherever y'all would like for him to be.
that.
Put him in the middle.
In the middle, that's probably wise.
Yeah,
I also want to be in the middle.
totally. Ray will take the lead unless anyone else wants it for some reason.
I'll be right behind you, Ray.
I will take the back.
Okay. And then, I don't know, I guess maybe Delilah and Kokus can sandwich Adam.
Yeah, so Delilah has held up a vial of blood and she cracks it on the ground, and you see a greater demon emerge, and she commands
Oh.
it to head the party to make sure that there's no traps upon entrance.
Excellent.
Big
So-
boy.
The demon is going in front of all of y'all as you go forward, yes?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, what we're gonna do as we move forward, it's gonna get really dark in here. You've got light, so you've got some ability to see, but because it is narrow, I need Ray and I guess the demon, who I assume is communicating back to you, Delilah, what they're seeing. If you could roll perception checks for me as we move forward to try to navigate this safely.
13.
13.
Did I also need to roll it since my demon is up ahead communicating to me?
Yes. And if you could
Okay.
use the demon's wisdom score to see what the demon sees, that would be awesome.
Okay, so I got a 14.
Okay.
I would say too, I do have the find traps spell that I could cast.
If you would like to
So-
cast that, you may. What's the duration on that spell?
It says instantaneous, 120 feet.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'm not sure if it lasts.
So when you cast the spell, you know the location of any traps within 120 feet, and you will remember where those traps are. But if you move 120 feet forward, you won't know the next 120 feet, if that makes sense. So I'm not telling you what to do, but you might want to choose to use that at the most opportune time rather than just kind of spam it along the way.
Yeah.
Your call. I am also not going to divulge where exactly traps might be, so...
I think she would probably wait until they get further into the cavern.
Okay. Ray, both you and the demon, communicating back to Delilah, would see that at first this passageway begins in at a downward slope for probably the first 100 or so feet before it eventually flattens out. As you get to this flatter area, as you're no longer on this steep incline, it widens slightly to about 10 feet wide, which is the widest that you've seen this passage at this point. And as you proceed forward, you begin to notice little outcroppings of rocks and fallen trees. Not like trees necessarily, but like logs that have been dragged in underground. Materials of some type. As you go another 30 or 40 feet forward, you start to see skeletons, bodies of people who have passed through here before and seemingly did not make it out alive. Not a whole lot, but you would notice one or two here, one or two there, who appear to be pulled out of whatever is ahead. You might even see scuff marks, lines of blood and other goo that indicates that these bodies have been moved.
Are there any animals around us, like small animals, bats, or...
You're welcome to make
creatures?
a perception check, unless you have some other way to try and locate animals in the vicinity.
I will use a perception check.
Okay.
It is a 17.
That's pretty good. I think you would notice near one of the bodies as you move forward, there are a couple of rats that are just kind of chittering away to one another in that vicinity, kind of watching you all as you move, attempting to like remain still as you're just far enough away that they haven't decided to run yet.
Mm-hmm. I hide Misa underneath my cloak because I assume that the rats don't want to talk to a cat, and I cast Speak with Animals, and I look back at the group. I'm like, hey, my friend taught me how to do this. And I crouch down to the rats and I go, so squeak squeakity, squeak squeakin', squeak squeak squeaker, squeaky squeaky squeak. And what I'm trying to say is what happened here.
Yeah, and you hear back what effectively sounds like squeak squeak, squeak squeaker, squeaker squeak, squeak squeak squeak, which you would know translates to these bodies were put here by the residents of this cavern.
Squeak squeakery, squeak squeaker, squeak squeaky squeak squeaky, which is who are the residents of this cavern?
Squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeaker, squeak, 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 squeaker, taggin, which means the residents here are a clan of small creatures called the Taggins.
Okay. I stand up and I look back at the group and I'm like, so I was speaking to the rats and they said that there's a group of small creatures here called the Taggin.
Did they do all of this?
Yeah, apparently. Not the rats, but the Taggin. The rats were very eloquent.
It sounded
Just
like
as a side note.
I mean, it sounded like a bunch of squeaks to me, but I'm sure you knew better.
Oh, it is a complicated and delicate language, but I'm glad I could act as translator.
Yeah. You have to teach me sometime.
Oh yeah,
great.
for sure.
So, like, when you say they put him here, did they kill them, or are these just decorations?
It's a good question. I crouch down again. Hey, so squeaker, squeakery, squeaky, squeaky, squeak. Did they kill them, or were they?
Yeah. Squeaker, squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeak, 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 which means, well, yes, but then they moved them here.
Yeah, so they say that they killed them, but then they moved them here. They didn't kill them here.
Can I look around and see if anybody's watching us?
Absolutely. You can go ahead and give me a perception check, unless you were trying to like move around the cavern as you do this, in which case I would let you make an investigation check if you chose.
No, we'll do perception.
Okay.
Better. Not great. 12.
12. You don't seem to be aware of anyone. And partially that's because, you've got Ray and a large demon blocking some of your line of sight in front of you, and there's Adam and the rest of the party behind you. But as you're able to look around, you don't seem to see anyone.
Hey, Ray, Delilah, can you check around and see if there's anybody here? I can't see anything for some reason.
Delilah's crouching down and she looks over her shoulder. Oh, yeah, 1 minute. And she's trying to hide the fact that she's scooping up a little bit of the blood because she doesn't want to gross anyone out, but it's for her demon.
Yeah. Could you give me a sleight of hand
capture-
check as you do that?
Sure. 16?
That seems pretty stealthy. Is anyone's passive perception higher than a 16?
17.
Yeah, 8. Oh no, just kidding. Nope.
Sorsha, you would see this. You can tell that Delilah's trying to be discreet.
I won't say a word.
Okay.
Kind of winks at her. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
We're sisters.
The rats at this moment actually do want to take a moment. They'll kind of squeak to get your attention, and they just do say, "Oh, squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeak," which just means your rat is quite good.
Squeak, 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 squeaker, squeak, squeaky, squeak, squeaksy, squeak, 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 which was a haiku in rat.
Mm-hmm.
That means my rat is so good. Your rats are so good. Oh yeah, rats are cool. Always, yo.
Yes. They, as you say this, they actually join in for the little second half of it, because this is a very common rat haiku. It's the first one that you would learn in rat language school.
Oh my gosh.
That's yes. They join in and express their gratitude.
Nice. I raise my hand for a tiny rat 5.
You get one.
Maybe yes.
Yes.
So I was supposed to roll for perception before, right? To like find out why these bodies have been dragged into this cavern.
Yes.
I rolled a natural 20.
Ooh.
Plus my modifier is 27.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Wow.
So, what exactly are you trying to determine on this check so that I can give you the right information?
I want to see what direction they dragged the bodies from, and if there's anything they might be using them for.
Okay. Yes, so, the drag marks that you see on the ground clearly indicate that the bodies were previously further up ahead. You're not sure how far as far as you can tell, and as far as the demon can tell, they are a ways up. You can't quite see where they begin. But they've been dragged from ahead of you and left here. And as you look, it seems like not only is this just maybe storage, but you also see a couple of interesting things. You see what appear to be a couple of animated, looking like forks and knives, and what appear to be a pile of bones. And you realize that, oh, that's right. The kobolds are not above eating other living creatures.
I think we should really be careful. She gulps. These bodies were dragged from not too far up ahead, so I'm thinking maybe send the demon down there before we think about going any further. And
Sounds
she's
like
going
a
to
great
command
idea.
the demon to go down further.
Okay,
Sure. We can sacrifice him.
excellent.
Yeah, I can bring it back.
Yeah. As the demon moves forward, I'll say that you have some kind of psychic link where you can understand what he's communicating back to you, but may or may not be able to see through their eyes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so as the passage goes on a little way, the demon moves forward, and then kind of rounds a corner and goes out of sight. And you hear very, very faint twink. And then about 2 seconds later, a very loud as it sounds like a very hard collision between a couple of hard physical objects that have smashed together violently. And the demon indicates to you that they are okay, although I would like to know how much HP said demon has, but that they have encountered a trap.
They have 66 hit points.
Okay, excellent. Well, in that case, they now have...
Let's see how strong these traps are.
it has
Yeah.
taken 11 damage.
Okay.
All right.
Rolls. Not
Delilah's
trusting
going to
it.
yell out, Lucy, you okay?
You get back an affirmative kind of grunt. Do you speak... would this be infernal or abyssal?
I think infernal.
If
I
you...
don't speak infernal.
Okay.
I should have chose that.
you are able to understand what the demon communicates to you, even though you don't share a language, because as the master in this relationship, you have the ability to understand at least
God,
sentiments.
my mom gets me these pets and I can't even speak the same language as it.
It's so inconsiderate.
God.
Yes, so you understand back that the demon is all right, but it looks like things are going to get more dangerous from here on out.
Okay, well, we better figure out what gear we have because things are about to get real interesting.
I take a big step closer. Did the demon come back?
Not yet, unless Delilah has
not yet.
commanded them back.
I take a big step closer to the general group and I'm like, my favorite person in the world is, well, myself. So danger is a little bit, scary, but we will do what we can.
I believe in you, Kokus.
Thank you. I do too.
We could get closer to where the demon was squished, and then I can cast Find Traps, assuming maybe there are more around that area.
There's probably some more.
Yeah, can I just sneak up behind one of you?
I got you.
I will go
Sweet.
first.
Excellent. So as you move forward to where the demon is standing, I presume that you have not commanded the demon to move forward at this point.
No, the demon is still up there.
Staying put. As you move up, it's another 90, 100, 110 feet or so as the path kind of curves around to the right and narrows again to about 5 feet wide. And you can tell now, you actually see that right behind where the demon is standing, there are 2 logs affixed to something in the ceiling with ropes that appear to used to have been hanging in the wings of this hallway, but are now right in the middle, kind of blocking your path, although you could probably duck and move under it. It's about shoulder height for most of you.
I'm gonna crawl underneath of it.
Yeah. And Ray, did you want to cast your spell?
Yeah, I will do the find traps.
Excellent. So you cast Find Traps, and you would first identify that right here where you are standing, there is a tripwire that was triggered that causes these logs to come together. Ahead, just a little way, you probably, I would say 15 feet, you would identify that there's a section of floor that has this very... I don't know that you would know the nature of the substance, but there's some kind of substance on the floor that appears to be suspicious. And then...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And then additionally, a little ways further, you would see a section of the floor that... and I don't even know that you would be able to see this with your eyes because of how far away it is. This is probably 40 to 50 feet up. There's a section of floor that has rocks and logs and branches scattered across the floor in what looks like some kind of barricade.
Okay. So lots of traps ahead. So I'll just let you know when we get closer, and we'll take it slow, okay?
Like slow. What do you see? What's up
So there's a suspicious liquid or substance on the floor, and that's kind of close. And then a little bit further, there's some type of it's kind of hard to tell because it's out of like sight, but I think it's like a barricade or something.
there? Suspicious liquid. Suspicious liquid. Can I look at that suspicious liquid? And I'd like to make a nature check.
Yes, you absolutely
Is
may.
it natural?
It is, yeah, it's about 15 feet ahead of you, as you all would, maybe shift to let Kokus get up close enough to see this liquid.
It's a 7 plus 0.
Okay, excellent. That is excellent. I don't know that you would know exactly the nature of this substance. It doesn't look slippery, though, so much as it looks sticky.
Does it look like a bodily fluid? Can I do like a medicine check or?
Sure. Give me a medicine check.
16.
16. You don't think this is a bodily fluid, and the reason why is because you catch this kind of almost sickly sweet scent on the air. Almost like if you've ever smelled honey that's sat for way too long. And so it kind of takes on this like more like gloopy, crystally, slightly hardened kind of texture. It's very reminiscent of that.
Okay. Let me see what I have in my equipment. I would I have an extra torch. I feel like I would just stick the end of a torch that I don't need, that's not lit or anything, like into it, and just see if it gets stuck or if anything happens to it.
Sure. You put the torch in right away. Whatever the substance is does not appear to be very flammable. There's a little bit of flame, but it doesn't seem to be spreading wildly. And as you go to pull it back, there is a tug. It's not insurmountable, but you feel like this is going to either slow you or perhaps try to grapple you or hold on to you in some way.
So this is sticky.
Yeah, I don't do sticky unless it's a food that is sticky that I like in my mouth. So I put a hand on the ground, and I would like to mold earth, and I would like to have the earth like shift from underneath it and then like come on top of it to like cover the way.
Clever.
Hold it in.
I really like that.
Avatar is such an inspiration.
Yes. So a couple things happen as you do this. First, the effect of the spell takes place, and you are able to cover most, if not all, of this substance. But you also hear, for the first time, off to the sides, as if through the stone wall beside you, you hear what it sounds like whispers. As this happens, they sound angry, and they're talking very, very quickly. Does anyone here understand Draconic?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so you hear these whispers, but are not able to make out what is being said. And you hear this for like 30 seconds, this kind of rapid, like very fast-paced, like kind of tone, as it seems like there's some kind of conversation before things quiet down again.
I would like to cast Comprehend Languages.
Sure.
Oops. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what'd they say?
Sure. You are able to catch kind of this the second end of what they're saying, which effectively you would get. They're saying the intruders have disarmed the trap. Keep a watch out and move on to the next one.
They're on to us. They know we're here, they know we're disarming traps, and they're moving ahead, so just keep a sharp eye.
Okay.
All right.
And Ray will start to lead them up to where the next trap is.
Sure.
You said it was like a barricade?
Yes, and as you get closer, I will describe what it looks like. Delilah, where is the demon in the mix of all this? Are they still at the front, or have they kind of fallen into the middle as people have moved around?
I called the demon back, and I'm actually sitting on its shoulders now.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, the passage is still about 10 feet tall, so you can manage that without bumping your head, and that's actually very beneficial. As you all walk forward, you notice, as you progress through this section where the floor was previously sticky, you see there are these little tiny slits along the wall. And the only reason your attention is drawn to them is because you hear whizzing sounds, and there are intense, sharp pains. So I'm going to roll 2 attack rolls for each of you to see if these things hit you. And I'll describe what happens once I've rolled a couple of attack rolls.
Oh no.
Oh, Lordy.
So first up is Ray. And I don't think either of those is going to hit you because the highest is a 10. And I know you've got a pretty good AC. And next up is still Sorsha, right?
Yes.
Does a 13 hit your armor class?
Nope.
Okay, a 21 will, though, as you take 5 points of piercing damage as there is an arrow that is now sticking out of your side. They appear to be shooting through arrow slits as you walk through. The trap, as you deduce at this point, seems to be get you stuck in this passageway so they can just pepper you with arrows while you struggle through, unable to shoot back or anything.
Oh, that's not good.
Next in line is Kokus.
All right. Let's do this.
I don't think an 8 is going to hit, but a 20 probably will. Dirty 20. Okay, and you take 5 points of piercing damage as one of these arrows pierces you.
Ow!
And next, Delilah, you are not going to take any because you are seated on top of your demon. But your demon will be susceptible to 2 attacks. And I've got a 19 and an 11. Do either of those hit? The demon?
Sorry, what was
The 11 is the lower of the 2. Does that hit the demon's armor class?
the demon's armor class is 13, so
Okay, so you'll just take 1 hit on the demon, which is 7 piercing damage, if there's any resistances. And then, last but not least, Estelle, as you pass through, That's a 13 and an 18.
I'm gonna try to deflect missiles for the 18.
Okay. Go for it.
And I roll a d10.
It's a shadow demon, so it does have piercing resistance.
Perfect. Thank you for keeping track of that. Half damage.
Okay.
Awesome.
The damage I take from the attack is reduced by 8 plus 15.
I don't think 5 damage is going to get you.
Okay.
And poor Adam gets 1 hit. And takes he takes 5 damage. He goes, "Oh, not again!" As you move forward. But you have successfully navigated through this. In the time that you travel through, they're only able to get 2 shots on each of you as you pass through, because you're not slowed or being grappled by this sticky substance. So you move forward, and ahead of you, you see a section of probably 30 feet in front of you, which, Ray, you realize now isn't so much a barricade as it's just haphazard piles of logs and rocks, intentionally trying to make the passage very difficult here. This is difficult terrain, and will take half. You'll need to move at half your normal speed in order to get through it.
Okay.
How many rocks did we say there are?
On the ground?
Yeah.
On the magnitude of hundreds. It's a section of 30 or so feet with just rocks and logs, very reminiscent to what you saw earlier, sitting in the path.
Do any of them look like they weigh less than 10 pounds?
Oh, there's definitely a few, yes.
Great. I would like to cast Mage Hand, and I would like to start picking them apart to see if we can clear a little path for us.
Yes. It will take a little while to do so.
Time. Right.
You do have time. There are a whole lot of things here, but I would say over the course of probably 20 minutes, you could clear a very narrow passageway if you would like to take that long. Okay.
Yep.
Some other things may happen in the span of 20 minutes.
Well, let me ask my friends. Do you want me to try and clear a passage here? It's going to take me a little bit, but I could probably do it safely.
Yeah, we could do that, or, I mean, I could even try to anchor a rope over here and jump over to the other side, and maybe the rope will give you a little bit of a handhold, make it a little easier. I'm not sure.
I mean, does it look like we could safely pass through? It's just gonna take a while, or are we gonna, like, twist our ankles? Because that's no fun.
Are there still dead bodies anywhere near us?
Not at this point, no. You
Okay.
left those away back in the passageway.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you do this, you will hear some more conversations in Draconic. And I think you would catch some of it, but eventually your comprehend languages would fade. And you would hear they are speaking directly about what you're doing. You hear someone saying, "Oh, they're moving the obstacles. We have to do something." And so you see, actually, at this point, who's at the very back? Would that be Estelle
I think I
still?
was. Mm-hmm.
Could you give me a perception check?
Okay.
As
That's
soon as
a
oh, sorry.
19. No, you're fine.
A 19? As you're waiting, you hear a faint grinding of stone shifting across stone from behind you, probably 30 feet, back just before the entrance, or just, I guess, on this side of that passageway with the arrows. And if you turn to look back, you would actually see there are a couple of these kobolds who poke their heads out with their bows and arrows and begin to start aiming and firing at the party.
Ooh, look at them. They're so cute, but I hate them.
They're
How far away are these kobolds?
About 30 feet.
Delilah is going to cast Mass Suggestion
Yes.
on them to help
Excellent.
us move these boulders and stop firing at us.
Ooh.
Very
All
nice.
right. What kind of a save do I need them to make?
Wisdom 15.
Oh, goodness. These are kobolds. Oh, wow.
They're gonna start worshiping you.
Yeah.
I would love to have a little kobold army.
Bring him back under the sea.
Oh.
There are 4 kobolds who all hear your suggestion, and you see they kind of put their bows and arrows down and move forward to come and help start shifting things to the side, speeding up this process dramatically. And as this is happening, Sorsha, you would see this. I would say that this would speed it up to maybe no more than 10 minutes to clear the entire path. And as this develops, you hear more draconic voices that appear to be coming from ahead of you in the path, effectively saying, like, "What are they doing? Why are they helping? This isn't the plan!"
Those voices, approximately how far away do they sound?
There's a range. There's probably from 20 feet to maybe 40 to 50 feet, as they are, again, it seems like on either side of the passageway, along the path.
As all of this is going on with the kobolds and getting the barrier down, I'm going to just start, like, I don't want to use the word beatboxing because it's not going to be quite that, but more like mouth vocalizations of just like
is this your working song?
Yeah. And I do a little spin, and I would like to cast Enthralling Performance.
Oh,
yes.
So if I perform for a minute, all of them that are within 60 feet who can hear and see me, which I assume they can because they're talking about me, they have a DC 17 Wisdom save, and they will be charmed for an hour if they fail.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes. All right.
Boom, baby. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
I like your style.
It
Thank
seems
you.
like, and you can't see them. A, because it is dark, and B, because a lot of them are out of the way. Those, you get the sense that some of them are affected by this. It seems like maybe some of them couldn't see you or hear you very clearly, but there are definitely some that you get the sense when the spell goes off that they have failed and are charmed.
Hey, friends! I call down the corridor. I'm like, hey, friends, if you're into this groovy beat, why don't you just convince your other friends to come out here and we'll say hi?
Okay. Yeah. Around this point, I think your comprehend languages is going to subside, Sorsha, but you do hear them still talking, and there appears to be this very animated argument between some of these kobolds, as it seems like some of them are taking on a slightly more friendly tone, and some of them are a little more angry, and they can't seem to see eye to eye.
Just for flavor, it says that the ones that are charmed by me will speak glowingly of me to anyone who talks to it. They idolize me, and they will hinder anyone who opposes me.
Okay, so you've got a little kobold army to help you.
Yeah.
We have 2 kobold
Excellent.
armies now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So how many kobolds altogether? I have 4.
You've got 4. Kokus, you've probably got like 6.
Awesome.
Kobold army!
Yeah.
And as this is happening, you actually would start to hear sounds of combat from the other sides of the walls, as it devolves into fighting. And the ones who are helping move things are still helping move things. A couple more moments pass, and the path is cleared, and the sound of combat behind the walls has subsided. And I would say, Kokus, you're aware of maybe 1 or 2 of them still being subdued, but it seems like there's still a lot of voices behind the walls, and you've had an effect on definitely some of them. But it seems like those who were under your effect have either maybe fled, or actually I think one would come out and join the passageway where you are to come and
Kobold buddy!
kind of step out of the danger zone into some place where they can safely be in the presence of the one they worship. At the end of the suggestion spell, Delilah, the kobolds that you told to come and help, as that effect wears off, They look around confused and begin chittering in their language before one of them grabs like a small knife, like not even a dagger, like it looks like a steak knife. And one of them like pulls out a tiny bone club, and they've got little odds and ends weapons, types of things like that, and they turn looking at you, at all of you, kind of ferociously. Well, as ferociously as a kobold can.
Lucy, kill them.
Okay, and your demon will step forward. If you could just give me 3 attacks from Lucy, that would be great.
I'm just reading what kind of attacks Lucy has.
Hey, no worries, no worries.
These poor kobolds.
While you're doing that, I feel
Okay,
like
okay,
y'all would
got it.
just see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna really quickly throw in that y'all would just see like the little Misa cat head poke out from under my cape and look at all the kobolds and just go, "Imbeciles, simpering imbeciles, bending your will to these fools." And then she would poke her head back in.
I love it.
These poor kobolds.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Poor unfortunate soul.
So yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Ray's just kind of like kicking the dust with like her mace. She's like, "Ugh, I want to fight stuff."
Would you like to make an attack at some of these kobolds that are right in front of y'all, seeming menacing?
Yeah.
Give me an attack roll. Or
Okay.
at this level, you've got 2 attacks per action, don't you?
So I can't. No.
No, just
It's
one.
like-
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I can spend War Priest 4 times per long rest to make an extra attack.
Gotcha. Well, unless you would like to do that, go ahead and just give me 1 attack roll,
Okay.
and I will let you hit the front kobold.
So she pulls out her mace is already out, and I guess I forgot to say this earlier just because I was nervous. But so her mace is like a frying pan with spikes on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
And she rolled a 24.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. Could you roll some damage for me?
Yes.
I love it.
So it does 9 damage, and she will use her Divine Strike to roll an extra D8
Yes, please do.
for an extra 6 damage.
Yeah. So describe to me what it looks like as you turn this kobold into a pancake.
So I feel like she kind of just like takes her frying pan with like the back end of it and just like smacks it, head down, and it's like real cartoony and just like flattens.
Yeah.
And it's like
Bonk.
tongue is sticking out.
I love it. Delilah, what attacks does Lucy make?
Yeah, 12, 14, and 7 to hit.
Those first 2 are gonna hit.
Or, okay. And so it's, do you have to roll for psychic damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
10 and 8
Uh,
damage.
These 2 kobolds clutch their heads as if they have a terrible brain freeze before collapsing to the side on top of a pile of rocks or stones. They're not very hardy creatures. Is there anyone else who would like to deal with the 1 remaining kobold?
Yeah, I would like to Eldritch Blast.
Oh, give me an attack roll for that.
Yeah.
No, your kobold is safely by your side and still friendly
Good.
under
Good.
the effects of a charm spell.
Oh no.
I tuck it under my cape with Misa and listen to them fight under there.
12?
That's gonna hit.
Yay.
Ooh.
Their armor class is not good.
Alright, that would be 7 plus 5, 12 points of force damage.
Yes, as this kobold is launched away from you, effectively blasted out of the way, kind of splatters up against the wall and collapses to the ground. Boom. And you can move forward through this path that you've created in this.
Sorry, how many kobolds are dead right now?
There are 4. They were the 4 that were under your suggestion spell that wore off.
Okay.
Once they
Delilah's
completed
gonna
the
put
action.
Delilah's gonna put her headphones on and say, I think it's time to dance. She's gonna cast
Hell
Dance
yeah.
Macabre on the 4 kobolds, and she's gonna turn them into zombies, and they're gonna follow us for the next hour.
Excellent.
Oh.
Kobold army.
I love it.
Excellent.
What does
Okay.
Dance
Generative.
Macabre sound
I
like?
just love dance parades. They are my favorite.
Yeah, what does this sound like?
Kind of like a, and you see green energy enter their body, as if there's a puppeteer pulling up their shoulders and making them dance, and their heads dangle, and their eyes flit open, but it's black.
I
I
love it.
slide in and I start dancing with them, and I pull out my kobold dances too,
Excellent.
and we
Oh.
sashay our way into the tunnel.
You do. You move forward. You've got a clear path, so you're able to get through this passage pretty easily. You do still hear the sounds of kobolds from behind the walls, and as you progress forward, you would hear a couple of. They sound like grunts as a small reptilian-like creature goes like, "Ah!" And you hear a very comical. As you see falling in the midst of the party what looks like a beehive.
Oh, great.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So as y'all rush forward, trying to escape, I am just going to make one round of attacks for everyone as the bees are furious at being woken up. Sorsha, does a 14 hit?
Yeah. That's my
Okay.
AC.
Okay.
Okay.
And you are going to take 6 points of piercing damage from
Ow.
a bunch of bees that attack you. Koku's, that is a natural 20, but they're just
I can't
bees.
even believe it.
Neither can I.
Oh no.
And you take 8 points of piercing damage from the bees.
Ah, that stings.
Nothing on you, Delilah. Your demon will take 4 piercing damage, non-magical. And
That is not very becoming.
and poor Adam takes another 4 piercing damage as well. As again, you hear this like,
How does
no.
he look?
He's okay. He's not as high level as y'all are, but he hasn't dropped dead yet.
Okay.
Was that half damage?
I believe
for
so.
the demon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
As y'all rush past, and the bees, you hear this bzz, 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 as they are left in the distance.
Buzz off.
As you move forward, you get a little way further, just kind of at the edge of where your detect trap spell would have been, when you see an extremely narrow passage, tight enough where y'all might need to kind of turn to the side or squeeze as you walk through.
Before we do, I'm gonna pull out Misa. No, I'm gonna pull out the kobold.
Okay.
Misa doesn't always listen to me, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, kobold friend, remember me, your super awesome pal, Koku's? Why don't you go through here and just make sure that everything is safe? And if it is, give me a little screech, screech."
Okay. And obviously being charmed, it is delighted. So elated to be helping you, and runs forward, and you watch as it gets into this passageway, it slips. There appears to be some kind of slippery, wet substance on the ground, and as it rushes in, its feet go right out from under him, and it and kind of plops and lands on its tail, and then like gets back up and looks around and starts like running again.
Wait, come back!
It'll come back. Yeah, sure, you told it to.
I pick it up and I'm like, "You are one resilient little kobold. I'm gonna name you Kronk. Get under there with
Yeah.
Misa."
And it
then
goes
I'm gonna do-
squeak, squeak.
Screech, screech. And I'm gonna just like touch the walls of this tight opening and use my mold earth again to give us a little land bridge over the slippery substance.
Excellent. As you do this, you hear more grumblings from these kobolds who you seem to be avoiding every trap they've laid. And you're able to move forward. Granted, it is still narrow, but you're able to move forward safely.
Me no likey traps.
Yeah. As
do
you
you all want to sing a song as we go forward?
Yes, please.
Always.
All right, here's how it goes. That's how you know you're a zombie. You dance and follow our party. That's how you know that you really, truly are a zombie.
amazing.
Excellent.
A crowd fell off.
That's great. As you progress forward, I think you would all smell the slippery substance the kobold had slipped on. It's kind of this like oily, slightly like acrid smell, but it's covered up, so it's just kind of just a residual scent at this point. As you move forward, you do see that there are some kobolds who like emerge from behind y'all with arrows that have flame on the point, and as they go to shoot, they shoot, and the flame hits the ground, and nothing happens because there's no oil beneath you. You've covered it with stone.
I give him one of these looks like,
And you see them kind of raise their fists and go, cursing
squeak, squeakity,
the day you came through. Yes. And as you pass through, you have successfully navigated the Tagan Kobold tribe's traps. You've made it through their territory, and Adam will lead you forward. I feel like this is a great point to take a little break, just to get some water, take care of bios, whatever. So we will be back in a couple of minutes. Chat, thank you for hanging out. I hope y'all are having fun. I'm having fun.
So much fun.
Get up, stretch your legs, and we will be back in just a moment.
Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just pass me by. You know I feel much better at Seems I can't Things I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just don't feel right. I think I feel much better at night. Seems I can't deny. Some days just pass me by. You know I feel much better at
Hello, and welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a good break. Ours is pretty good. Before we hop back into the game, I want to give a couple quick reminders. First of all, we do have some phenomenal giveaways from just some wonderful people who have, out of the goodness of their hearts, donated prizes to help us raise funds for RAIN. Our next giveaway tier is called the Small Creator Bundle, which includes a spell slot tracker from Arcane Spectacles. It includes a really cool kind of sci-fi fantasy audiobook on Audible. It includes a hand-painted miniature from Anjali on Twitter, a good friend who has offered to donate this. And it includes a piece of your own character art, whatever you would like, from Pixel Cat Studios, who did the beautiful character art that you can see on screen right now. She is a very talented artist, and so we would love to get you all set up with that at the next tier. At this point, we do have some cool things that have already been unlocked. Dice, D&D Beyond codes for the most recent campaign setting that came out, which may or may not be playing an influence in what we're doing today. I don't know. Is this ancient Greece? Yeah, so there's lots of cool things. All you need to do to win the giveaways is just be active in chat at the end of the session, when we'll pull some names from active users in chat at the end of the stream. So, with that being said, we have successfully traveled through the dangerous traps that these kobolds have set up. And we're going to fast forward a couple of hours to arriving on the other side of this passageway. It is now probably mid to late afternoon. I would say around 5 p.m., whatever local time it is. When you emerge into the sunlight again, out of this passageway, and Adam is there with you, kind of, well, so this is how far we made it. It's pretty safe from here on out, I think, but no offense, I don't really want to go back through the passage, because it's kind of dangerous, and I think they're probably mad. Can I just stay with you and stay safe? Maybe like hide?
Adam, you are always going to stay with us. Aren't you like our guide, servant, man, friend?
Well, yeah, I just thought I was getting you to this side of the mountain, and then, once I got you around the mountain, you could just do your own. I'll stay if you'd like.
We don't leave friends behind. Come with us.
You can stay.
Okay, cool.
No, you should hang out with us because like the princesses and all of our zombie kobolds will protect you.
Yep.
You're fine.
Yeah,
And
that's
Croc.
really cool. And kind of scary, too, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so, I don't know where the thing is, but we made it, so... At this point, you know that the portals from the Underworld are somewhere in this vicinity, but you don't know exactly where.
Start looking.
Sure.
Yeah.
What we can do is I would like to do a skill challenge. Everyone will have an opportunity to contribute something to a group mission to locate these portals. So we can go around in like kind of popcorn order as everyone has a chance to say what it is you're doing and what type of check you would like to roll to try to help with that. If we do the same check for two different people, then the DC will be harder the second time around. But this is a great way to do some fun collaborative role-playing here.
Checks
I'd like
see
to make
what
a
I'm
perception
good at.
check.
Yeah, right.
Delilah would like to make a perception check. All right. And what are you looking for as you peer around?
I'm looking for any kind of breeze that seems to be coming from a specific direction. I'm looking at what direction the trees are blowing in.
Okay. Yeah, give me your perception check.
23.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's going to beat the DC of 13 to be sure. You would notice that there is, in fact, a breeze. It is coming from just kind of off to kind of the southeast from where you are. And as you take a moment to detect this breeze and maybe, lift your nose to the wind, you would smell that it is slightly sulfuric. Maybe a good
Oh.
indicator.
That smells weird. Something smells like sulfur or fire or both. I can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure there's something coming from the southeast.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Can I would like to just speak into the ether, and I would like to say, all right, Hades, I know you're here. We can cut the dramatics. You can just come on out and let's get this over with.
Okay, and what kind of a check are you trying to make here?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, okay. Give me a persuasion check.
22.
Okay, I will take that into consideration. Okay. All right. It's bold strategy.
Can I make a, survival check to try and see what the most advantageous areas would be to have fiend spawning portals?
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and give me the roll.
Okay. I got a 16.
16, yeah. As you kind of get a lay of the land, surveying the terrain, you would see a couple of things. You are now outside the mountain. There are a series of other mountains and small rocky outcroppings nearby. And it looks like there might be some kind of ravine, maybe a mile or so ahead of you. But you also think that you might be able to get a slightly better look from a closer rocky outcropping, maybe a couple 100 feet away. That might be a good vantage point to observe.
Oh, well, that looks like just the perfect place to look for portals. And she'll just point it out.
Yeah?
Go for it.
Thank you. I was just gonna follow Seor's lead and just kind of, pull out my. God, what instrument do I have? I didn't take an instrument. So...
What instrument would you like to have?
None. I am an instrument, and I'll cast
Excellent.
prestidigitation on myself to increase my voice. Oh wait, no, that's thaumaturgy. I don't increase my voice. I just speak like with an orator's voice that carries across the land, and I say, Hades, Hades, Lord of Death, don't tell me you're scared of the friends I'm with. Come and face us if you dare. I bet that we won't put out your hair. And that's a performance check, please.
Yeah, give me the roll. I love it.
Okay. 19 plus 13
Holy
is
crap, 32.
Yeah, that's math.
That's math. Wow.
Wow, if it was possible to put on a performance that would sway a deity, you feel like you might have just done that.
My godly powers.
Yes. Estelle, is there something you would like to contribute?
Well, I have some experience with portals, and so I'm gonna try to use my knowledge of history and possibly look under different rocks and other types of natural things like wells. See what I can find.
You're using your experience with portals to find the most portal-like
Yeah.
places. Yeah. Go ahead and give me that roll.
That is a 17.
A 17. Yeah. Y'all are doing great here. That's a whole bunch of successes. So as you maybe navigate towards the vantage point that Ray has suggested, you're able to peer out and get a slight look into this ravine ahead of you. And there seems to be this faint, continuing, like, sulfuric smell that you would indicate from that general direction. So as you progress forward, Estelle, I think you would maybe even be like getting closer and looking around, and you feel like on the edge of a ravine wall is probably the ideal place to put a portal, because you've got a nice landing area, so to speak, but it is not very visible. It's the perfect place to emerge from a portal, unlike the past experience you may have had and dropped you into like the middle of a busy street or something. Not saying that happened, but if it did, that's not ideal. As we've had some very convincing, persuasive discussions, you would actually, as you move forward away from this rocky outcropping, stepping around from beside the rocks, you see not Hades, but someone who looks very familiar to you, Sorsha. Someone that you would know by appearance, wearing this dark, kind of billowing, shadowy robe with a featureless gray mask that just has cutouts for the eyes. And you see this creature step forward with this long, kind of jagged bone dagger in hand, and a bow that appears to be shaped from some kind of bone slung over its back. And this creature steps forward, and you would recognize this is a representative of Hades. Ever since things didn't go too well with certain titans, he's gone to slightly more intelligent and slightly more reliable entities of fiendish nature. This creature will step forward and say, "Yes, you called."
I thought I smelled a rat. Well, what are you doing? What's going on?
I was under the impression you were not going to interfere. Have you come to help?
Nah, I've changed my mind.
Hades will be most displeased.
Probably. But I can take him.
I will give you one chance for you and your friends to walk away without any consequences.
I turn my back to him. What do you think, girls?
Um, to be frank, I don't think this is something I could walk away from without finishing.
That's where I'm at too.
And that guy Hades you talked about is real scary sounding, so I don't really want to deal with him or portals.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is.
Yes.
I mean, we've come this far, but I'm with all of you if you don't feel confident that we can defeat them if we get attacked.
But I do have a little something that might help with this messenger friend that we have here. And I pull out a scepter that looks like it has a tiny crown on the top of it. And I'm going to say it's like this kind of gold, looks with the gemstones around it like this. And it is a rod of rulership granted to me because I am Emperor of Peru.
Yes.
And I point it at the messenger and I say, "Hey, man, so I know that you work for Hades, but instead of living in the dark underworld, let's go somewhere hot." And I'm going to use the charge, and it has a DC 15 wisdom save.
Okay.
Excellent.
If it doesn't work, I'm going to beat him with it.
Yeah, let me just pull up that stat block real quick. Okay.
Oh, this is wonderful.
I have a plan too if it doesn't work before you can beat him.
I have so many
Ooh.
charming things.
Ooh. Yeah, he's gonna fail that.
Yes.
Yes. Yay! So he is under my command for 8 hours, and he regards me as his trusted leaders.
Excellent.
As his
Wow.
trusted leader.
Wow,
Yeah.
Kokus,
Okay.
that was impressive.
I am Princess Koku's. Boom, baby!
As this
I
happens,
appreciate your conviction.
and you have subdued this servant of Hades, you have a moment where you feel very triumphant. You have clearly succeeded. And then there is this kind of rumbling, earth-shattering, shaking sensation as everything around you vibrates, and you hear a loud roar. Emerging from within the ravine, you see a massive, snake-like creature. Except it is not a snake per se. It has the head of a dragon. No, it has multiple heads, all appearing like dragons.
Oh, that's not good.
And this is, and I think especially Sorsha, you would be familiar with the Hydra. This is one of Hades' classic creatures. This is not a Hydra. Fun fact for the audience, this is a creature from the recent D&D book. Hold up. Lost Odysseys of Theros? Mythic Odyssey? Whatever it's called. I'm sorry, my brain just turned off for a
We
second.
all know what you meant.
The new one.
It's from the new book. This is a creature from that book. So I'll tell you the name of the stat block at the end, but it's pretty cool.
Oh boy.
New monster.
So-
Is this creature native to this plane of existence?
Yeah, good question.
You don't think so.
You
Oh,
know,
no.
how close are we to it?
Oh, it is probably like 100 feet away right now, but moving
Okay.
dramatically quickly towards you.
I don't like the way this thing is looking at us.
Mm.
Get ready.
Protect me, messenger.
Spread out.
What's your name?
I don't need a name. I go by the mouthpiece of Hades.
The mouthpiece of Hades, you are now the mouthpiece of Koku's. Don't forget who signs your checks. Let's go. Battle time. Hope you can use that bow.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, okay, so, as this happens, I would like for everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty here.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Cool.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm not ready for this.
Well, okay. Cleric surprisingly rolled kind of okay.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Do you want us to send them in?
If you would be willing to just drop those in Zoom chat so that I can put them in order real quick, that'll make life easy, and I'll read them out as we put them in order. Great. Sorsha, what is your dexterity modifier?
It is a +3.
+3. All right. Excellent. So, the mouthpiece of Hades will go first, followed by Saoirse. And then we will have Estelle. And Delilah, is that a total of 20?
Yes.
Okay, then actually it'll be Delilah and then Estelle before we have Ray, the creature, and Kokus.
Very good.
All right, and let me just jot this down real quick. Okay, and as we go first with this creature that is calling itself now the mouthpiece of Kokus, for reason it's the mouthpiece of Hades, formerly known as. Anyways, we will see as it first steps forward, takes I would say 3 steps forward to get into range of this approaching monstrous creature, which is, for the record, something like 25 feet tall, massive, huge, terrifying. And it actually, instead of using its bow, takes this bone knife that it has, pulls it up by its side, and as it does, it turns into a spectral, ghostly javelin and launches it at the creature. And that is going to hit. Dear goodness, wow. That is a lot to hit. Okay.
Take full credit. Full credit.
Yeah, that's all you.
That was all you. All you're doing.
Oh, okay, hold up. Okay, I gotta roll some damage here. Wow, okay. I was not prepared for this. Okay. All right. That's a big hit. Oh, never mind.
That's my mouthpiece.
I miscounted. Okay, it is just a little bit. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, cool. And this pierces into the neck of one of these creatures' heads, and as it does, it kind of rears back and then roars in the direction of what seems to have used to been its master, or at least the one that it was following, but there seems to be some confusion, a confusing relationship dynamic here right now. It's not sure how to handle this. And that brings us to Sorsha.
All right. I would like to take a step forward, and I would like to put my hands out, and I'm going to say, you go tell Hades that if he wants to talk to us, he needs to come do his own dirty work, and I'm going to cast Banishment.
All right. What save do I need to make?
You need to make a...
Charisma, I believe.
Yeah, Charisma
15.
17.
Charisma 17.
Oh, that's right. You have a higher save than me. I'm glad you did that, not me.
I think all 3 of us were thinking that.
Yeah.
It's a good move. So
How do
you
we get rid of this thing fast?
Yeah.
Right?
you cast banishment on this creature.
Mm-hmm.
And as you concentrate on the spell and focus, you are able to blip it out of existence. But what's interesting,
I was going to say, there's a butt there.
you would think this creature would not be from this plane, so they should just be gone forever. But you can feel the sense that it is trying to break through, trying to come back. But you've got it banished for now.
All right, we need a plan quick because this thing is trying to get back.
Let's just get that out of here. Let's just run. It'll come back and then we won't be here.
It's been a while since I've had a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
If
Well,
you
then we
guys-
should definitely set up a trap for when it comes back. It's gonna pop up right there.
We don't have a lot of time.
maybe move into position that you want to be in. Hide behind something. There's rocks out here. Take cover if you need.
Maybe get ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go to the area where it was standing before, and I'm gonna try and, as fast as I can, like Minecraft mold earth in chunks until it's in a little like pit or something.
Okay. I think you could easily make a little kind of divot where it would be, because of the size of this creature. It would take a couple of castings, but you could probably get enough to get it about 10 feet down into the ground, which is something. It's dramatically taller than that, but maybe it's at some kind of disadvantage.
Maybe.
And I think I would also like to, since I'm not sure what this creature is, but it sounds like a hydra, and I don't think they like vegetables very much. So I am going to circle where it was standing with a seaweed salad, just a huge circle of seaweed salad. And I'm actually going to concentrate to hold monster.
Nice.
If it blips back into our plane of existence.
Okay.
I'm going to run over to close to where the monster is gonna pop back up at, and I'm gonna ready a potion, so that if it tries to attack me with one of its heads, I want to try to use that action to shove it down its throat.
Absolutely.
And then I would like to, the area that it disappeared in, I would like to cast Spirit Guardians, so that when it appears, it'll pop back in there.
Excellent. I think Spirit Guardians is centered on yourself. Are you in?
Oh, well, she would probably be within melee.
Okay, so you would be in range. That'll definitely take effect. Please help me remember to do that whenever it procs. Go ahead and let me know at that time.
Okay.
Thank you. Adam runs 30 feet back and hides behind a tree. This is
Don't worry, we got this.
above his pay grade. He is like, nope, just running.
Not today.
Oh goodness, no, not
I
today.
send Misa and Kronk to go with him.
Good.
So you also see a little kobold riding a fluffy white cat. Over
Excellent.
Behind the tree.
I love it. And after a moment, you have a couple of rounds to prepare these things that you're doing, and the mouthpiece of Koku's will also be there preparing another javelin strike. When Sorsha, you feel as the duration of the spell ends, it's almost a small explosion as this creature reappears in the space where it was, roaring loudly. And so we're just going to hop right back in with the same initiative order, which means that the mouthpiece is going to go first, and that is going to be... it's a natural 20.
Nice.
That's my mouthpiece.
Yep, it is... only 10 damage, but every little bit counts. All right. Okay. Yes, and that is a good reminder. You do have one advantage and one natural 20 that you can spend at any time during this session. Good reminder. Thank you. So next up is Sorsha. What are we doing?
Okay, we are Eldritch Blasting. Pew pew pew.
Okay, give me some attack rolls.
First one is a 23.
That's going to hit.
Next one is higher. It's 24.
Also going to hit.
Well, nope. That's 11.
Okay, the first two will hit.
Great. All right, 1d10. 5 plus 5, 10, plus 13, 23 points of force damage.
Ooh, nice. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn? Movement, bonus action, that kind of stuff?
With my... how close am I to it right now?
You could be about as close as you'd like. It's
Okay.
a gigantic creature, but
Yeah.
so you could be any amount of range. You've had
Okay.
time.
I'm just going to... I'm going to take out my flame tongue dagger, and I'm just going to be ready for my next turn.
All right. Excellent. And that brings us to Delilah.
So she's still trying to hold the monster within the circle of seaweed salad that she placed around it.
Mhm.
And you see streams of purple and green energy emanating from her fingers, casting a sort of aura around this monster to try and hold it in place.
Yep. And what kind of save do I need to make?
Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. Okay. Ooh, that is not gonna make it. So it is held. What
yay!
duration is it held for?
1 minute.
1 minute. Does
Wow.
it get to make saves when it takes damage or anything like that?
At the end of each of its turn, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On
Okay.
a success, the spell ends on the target.
Excellent. Excellent. And that brings us to... I'm sorry, is that the end of your turn?
Do I still have those kobolds? The
Um,
concentration was 1 hour.
I feel like they probably would have vanished, but if you wanted to keep casting, you could keep them.
If I can,
Sure.
say, kobolds, assemble.
Yeah.
Fire.
Okay, and they will make their respective attacks. If you would like to pull up a kobold stat block and give
Sure.
me a couple of attacks from them, and we can say, let's mark off 2 spell slots to have maintained their presence the duration of this time.
Okay. Okay, so they're going to be using a sling,
Mhm.
ranged weapon attack, plus 4 to hit. Range is 30 or 120 feet.
Okay.
So I guess I'll roll to hit.
Yep. Give me as many attack rolls as you have kobolds.
All right. First one is 15.
That is not going to hit.
The second one is 6.
Close, but no cigar.
19?
That is going to hit, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so I hit for 1d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
1.
1d4 plus 2 is 1.
That's what it says. I don't really know how that got that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it just the one on the die,
what?
maybe?
I didn't add it. It's 3.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Perfect. I was confused. I was like, hold up.
Yeah. Sorry, not good at the maths.
Hey, no sweat. No sweat.
And I think I have one more kobold to roll for.
Indeed you do.
18.
That is gonna hit.
Fantastic. And the damage is 6.
6 damage. Excellent.
So
Okay.
that's 9 altogether.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Cool. All right. And that brings us to Estelle. Your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get up to one of its heads and stick this potion down its throat.
Go for it. You'll need to get in kind of close, but as it's being held by Delilah, you could probably jump or try to climb up to get this into one of the mouths.
I'm gonna try to climb up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an acrobatics check?
Give me just a quick acrobatics check, yeah.
Okie dokie. That's a natural 20.
Yep, you are able to jump, finding handholds on scales and spines sticking out of this creature, able to get up in order to slam dunk this potion into its mouth.
All right, and so I take the cap off of this and I'm going to glug 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 drop it down his throat. It is a potion of diminution. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but it does the reduce effect for
Oh
24
my.
hours.
Excellent.
No
Yes.
concentration.
Very clever.
So I'll read you the reduce effects.
Okay.
He's so cute.
Its size is halved.
Uh-huh.
Its weight is reduced to 1/8. This decreases its size by 1 category from medium to small, for example. Until the spell ends, the target also has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saves. The weapons also shrink to match its new size. While these weapons are reduced, the target's attacks with them deal 1d4 less damage.
Excellent.
Ooh.
That is a
That's
good
Wow.
move.
awesome.
And I
All
just
right.
think I was gonna
Cute.
use it.
He has been
No,
through it
that is-
already.
That is
Oh my
clutch.
gosh.
Okay. All right. So, as you do this, the creature shrinks in size to maybe about 10 feet by 10 feet. It's still large, but nowhere near as massive as it once was. Still held, but even as it's held, you can see it struggling and flailing, confused as to what's just happened, as you, from slam dunking this into the creature's mouth, have, as it's reduced, just kind of brought right down till your feet hit the ground, and
Oh,
you have successfully
almost
landed.
cute now.
Almost is the operative word. All right, Ray.
So it needs to make a 16 wisdom save
Mm-hmm.
for the spirit guardians.
That is not going to make it.
Ooh, okay. So it is going to take 3d8. So that's 18 radiant damage.
18 radiant damage. Wow.
And Ray is going to use her action to use her radiant soul feature. So her eyes start to glow, and these golden glowing wings sprout from her. And she will fly up and cast her spiritual weapon
Okay.
as her bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And so that basically appears as like this same like golden shimmering, it's like a frying pan, but it kind of looks like a sun, like with like the spikes on it.
Yes. Excellent.
And try to hit with her spiritual weapon.
Yep. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Ooh, okay. So it was a 13.
That is unfortunately going to miss.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It'll just hang out, and she will just, I guess now that it's smaller, like she'll really
Yeah.
just like fly up above it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
like 20-ish feet.
I think what happens is, as you're doing this, because everyone's kind of held their actions and are going at the same time as this creature, you go to swing where its heads were, like aiming for this home run hit against one of the skulls. And as you go, Estelle's potion takes effect, and it shrinks just beneath your swing as you barely miss it, just by an inch.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Excellent. And that brings us to the creature's turn. It needs to make a save against your hold creature, and that was a 15, right, Delilah? That it needs to save against? Your spell save DC was a 15, right, Delilah?
Yes.
Okay, it does not make it this time, as it is still held. And that is its turn, which brings us to Kohu's. I think you are muted, perhaps on your end.
I am muted. That is correct. I was testing you. So, first things first, I'm going to... How far away am I from it? I think I would have been about 30 feet after I made the thing. I wouldn't have wanted to stay too close.
Yeah.
So if I am going to Bardic Inspiration and just yell out, hey there, Delilah, I don't like the looks of this monster. Maybe you could help me kill it, and maybe we'd be wrongster, but you know, it's trying to kill us, so let's go. Don't you know?
Amazing.
Don't you know?
I'm Canadian and Peruvian, you know. And
Staring
then
at him too much.
And then and then I'm gonna back up another 30 feet, and I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery and yell out at the monster like, "Hey, do you need that many brains? Because you only have like an eighth of a brain in each head, so that it doesn't even add up to a full brain." Boom, baby.
Amazing.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Yes, a wisdom saving throw. That is actually a 21.
Okay. Well, it doesn't understand me, clearly, because its brain is too small.
That's, you know what? That's canon. That's what we're going to go with.
Yep.
Its brain is too small. I can't understand the logic behind your sick burns. Okay, so that was epic. Okay, and that brings us back to the top of initiative, which will get us to the mouthpiece, formerly of Hades, now the mouthpiece of Koku's. I like saying that. I don't know. It's just the artist.
Mouthpiece of Koku's.
You know, Prince formerly knows the artist, formerly known is. I'm here for it. Okay. Yes, and so. It has prepared another one of these spectral javelins. And as it kind of moves to the side, it pulls out this javelin, and as it launches it, it is actually going to cast a spell in the same attack, causing this rippling necrotic energy to go through the javelin as it flies towards the creature. So I'm gonna make an attack. Oh, that'll hit. That'll hit. It's got a really good attack modifier. Okay, so that's gonna hit. It's gonna hit as this spectral javelin like kind of pierces right into the chest of this creature. And then there is an added necrotic effect that seems to kind of collect around the creature, and it doesn't do as much damage as you might expect from something, but there's some effect. And let's roll some damage. 60. Okay. And that is... Oh, just had a window pop up on my screen. 20 points of damage total that it'll take. And that is the first attack, and it'll actually pull out a second spear and launch the second one again to strike the creature, and that is not going to hit. A little too low. So that is what the mouthpiece of Koku's does, as it takes one and launches this kind of empowered javelin strike, and then a second javelin strike. First one hits and affects the creature, but the second one misses. And that brings us to Sorsha.
I would like to spend my nat 20.
Yes.
And I would like to cast Witch's Bolt. Or Witch Bolt, which is 5d12 lightning damage.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna hit. Be sure to double your dice damage there.
Yeah. All right.
Boom, baby.
Wow.
Use a dice roller on that.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta enable it for a second. Okay. So we're rolling 5d12.
Yeah. Oof.
Or 5.
And what type of damage is this?
Lightning.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Okay. All right. So 39 times 2.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what that is. off the top of my
78.
head.
78 points of
Okay.
damage.
And I'm out of spell slots.
I mean,
But
it's a good one to
That's a
use
good
up the
one to
last
end on,
on.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good if we're being honest here. So, okay, and I'm just gonna throw that into a calculator because that's a lot of math. Alrighty.
These nat 20s, man.
You know, that's what happens when
We've used
chat
one
is
so
generous.
far.
They give you extra boons and benefits. Okay, so this witch bolt strikes the creature, and you're holding this powerful lightning attack against it, and it is taken aback by the force of this blow. It's still standing, but you would say that it is bloodied now.
Thanks, Hades, for the spell.
Somewhere off, you hear a ah, and you imagine blue flames turning red
Yeah.
for some odd reason.
Yes.
Awesome.
Somewhere in the distance.
Yep.
And that brings us to Delilah's turn.
So you see Delilah hold up her hand, and her 4 kobolds align and raise their slings in formation. And all of a sudden, her shell on her necklace starts to glow.
Yes.
Great special
And
effects.
You don't hear Delilah singing. You hear a voice coming from the shell, and it says, "I wanna be where the zombies are. I wanna see them dancing, stumbling around, killing foes. Defeat."
Amazing.
Excellent.
So
Amazing.
she rolled a natural 20. She's gonna use her natural 20 that was given to her.
Yes, please.
She's gonna use her advantage, so she got a 14 and a 12.
Okay. All right. The 14s, those were attack rolls, right? To hit?
Yes.
The 14 and the 12 are not going to hit, but that natural 20 is absolutely going to hit.
Okay. And I got a nat 20 and another 20 that I was given.
Yes,
so
that is
I got
also-
2 20s.
Yes, so...
Okay, so the
Both of
first one
those hit.
hits for 5,
Okay.
and the second one hits for 5 as well.
Okay, and for the nat 20, is that double damage on the dice?
Oh, is it?
Yes, you double dice damage on a critical hit. With that natural 20, yeah.
So 20. I hit for 20 points of damage.
You could also use
Magnificent.
the bardic inspiration on the one that missed if you wanted to.
You could do that too.
I would love to do that.
Please.
Yeah. So we're at 20,
Uh-huh.
and then that third one hits for 12. So 32.
Excellent. Yeah, heck yes.
Thanks,
Okay.
Kokus.
Boom. And that is so cool. For the record, that is so cool that I'm going to give you a DM inspiration.
Woo!
So just hang on to that because I liked it.
Okay.
Wow, y'all are doing really well. You're doing really well. In fact, you're doing so well that you might feel very confident at this moment. But you start to hear a thundering, a rumbling from within the ravine, as if there is something else that may have just emerged on its turn initiative. So just keep that in mind. And next up, we have Estelle.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna attack what's in front of me. So I'm gonna do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
That's. I'm gonna use advantage.
Yes,
'Cause I haven't
please.
used any of those. So that I got a 14 to hit and a 24 to hit. So that's so 24 since advantage.
Yeah, so that
24 to hit.
24 is going to hit, yeah.
That's gonna do 8 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
For my bonus action, I'm gonna use a key point and flurry of blows.
Yes.
First one is a 16.
That's going to miss. Just misses.
Okay. And the second one is a natural 20.
Heck yes. That will also hit. Be sure to double your
Ooh.
dice.
Okay, so that's a 5, so 14 points of damage.
Okay.
That's my action, bonus action. I don't think I have any movement that I want to use, so that's it.
Okay. I would like for you to describe how, in full victorious glory, you punch this crazy, monstrous, snake-bodied, dragon-headed creature to death.
Yes.
Oh, it's more of like a and I'm like feeling really bad because he is kind of cute right now, and just and on that last punch, just I'm trying to hold back, but and he dies.
That's so cute.
Excellent. Yes. And you watch as this creature. It's kind of funny, and this is not in the stat block for the record. This is me adding fun fantasy flavor in our animated world. As you punch and pop and hit this creature, it like almost like deflates it like a balloon. And then it just like shrinks and crumples down, and then like a balloon that's got a hole in it and kind of goes does one of those things and flies around in the air.
Looney Tune?
Yeah, it's we're in Looney Tunes now.
Crossover.
And flies up into the air before there's a loud, and it is gone.
Oh my.
Well done, princesses. Well
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
Y'all have done very good, but we are going to stay in initiative because maybe some other things are happening. But that means that Ray is up next. And just a quick piece of information for chat. This creature from the new book is called a Typhon.
Typhon. Okay.
Yes. All right.
So Hades stopped dealing with titans and replaced them with typhons.
Yes. It is a large, underworldly creature.
Noise.
Similar to a hydra in some ways. Ray, it is your turn. The creature in front of you has vanished.
Below me.
Well, yes, it is no longer there. What would you like to do?
Since I'm like flying and I'm up,
Yeah.
can I see any other dangers?
Yeah, actually. Could you give me a quick perception roll to see what you can see as you are peering around looking for potential threats?
21.
21. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. You have already heard, much like everyone else, that there is more sounds coming from the ravine, and you, from your vantage point, actually, where you are in the air, are able to look and see that there are tens, maybe hundreds of small, demonic-looking creatures coming out. They're no more than a couple of feet tall and wide, in these kind of animated grayish, greenish, and bluish colors, with kind of pointy horns and little pointy tails, and are coming out with little like pikes and daggers and swords. This seems to be like an army of I don't want to say the word imps because they're not imps, but they appear vaguely like certain characters that you might have seen in vaguely, ancient Greek movie with Hades in it.
And are they pink and green?
There's some colors, yeah. There's some colors.
Okay, would I know if they're undead at all?
They do not appear to be undead.
Okay.
But you would, I think, seeing them come out of this portal from hell, maybe know that they are fiends.
Yeah. Okay. And so the portal's open.
Yes.
I would just shout, can I attack the portal directly to stop it, or what do I need to do? To Sorcerer, probably, since you know about these portals.
Yes. Am I allowed to answer?
You can answer very quickly. You've got like a sentence.
Dispel magic.
Boom.
You have it.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
I do have Dispel Magic. So, and the range is 120 feet. So,
Okay.
hearing that, she would cast it.
You were probably just beyond 120 feet, but if you use your movement, you could get closer. As you do, you will need to give me a spellcasting roll, so you'll use whatever your spellcasting modifier is. Add that to a d20 to see if you are able to dispel this powerful portal.
So d20 plus 4, or
or
plus modifier.
Yeah, plus your spellcasting ability and your proficiency modifier on your spellcasting sheet.
I believe in you.
Wait, plus both?
It is, yeah, both. If you flip over to your spellcasting tab, it should be at the top of the page on D&D Beyond. It'll give you your spellcasting DC and your attack modifier, and it's the attack modifier that you're using.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it, thanks.
Mhm.
Alrighty. So that's a 14 plus 8.
Nice.
Plus 8.
Uh,
That is
22?
pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah.
Is that good enough?
As you look from afar, you see this portal shrinks and flickers in and out. And this grayish, bluish, almost flaming presence of it appears to reduce. It is not entirely gone, but it is no longer the 20-foot by 20-foot portal that it was, and it is now down to maybe 5-foot by 5-foot, something that a medium-sized creature could pass through. You have done a significant amount of work here, but you feel like undoing a portal that Hades himself put here might take more than one spell, because it is powerful magic. It is divine magic.
All right, then she would just shout, "We need to hit it again," and then that'll end her turn.
Excellent. That was a very good turn. And that brings us to Koku's.
So I just heard Ray said that we needed to hit the portal again, right?
Yes, you did.
All right. Well, I got to dispel magic as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw that up. Except Koku's dispel magic is more of a frantic, like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, go away,
Excellent.
go away, go away.
An anxiety dispel magic.
And I'm going to cast that at... Would I be able to tell, like, how hard I need to hit to dispel this portal?
Sure. You are you proficient in Arcana by chance?
I am not.
Okay.
That would be surprising if I was.
I will let you make an Arcana check.
Okay.
But because you are not proficient and are probably not familiar with exactly how this portal magic works, let's say that it's at disadvantage because it is something you're not familiar with.
Cool. You know what? Actually, even if we close the portal, I think all of these imp-like creatures would still be here. Yes.
Yes, they have passed through the portal. They are
So
on this plane.
I'm gonna let my friends deal with the portal. That'll be fine. And I'm gonna start making sure none of these imps get them. So I'm gonna yell out, "Kronk, to me!"
Okay.
Maybe the little kobold comes running out. I'm gonna be like, "Jump up, buddy!" And the little kobold lands on my shoulder, and I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, whoa!" And I'm gonna look like I'm stretching him out, and I am casting Conjure Animals again. And this time I am conjuring him into a giant constrictor snake.
Yes.
And I would like that giant constrictor snake to does it go on my turn? I forgot.
Let's go ahead and just for the ease of running it, have it go on your turn. That way it can go now.
Awesome. So I'll finish up my turn first for the ease of whatever, and I'm going to bonus action, Bardic Inspiration. What's the initiative order? Yeah, I'm going to Bardic Inspiration Saoirse. I never think I'm pronouncing that right.
Saoirse. You're close. Saoirse.
And just yell out, Hades was your man, but now he's not. Time to end this game and let's make it hot.
Excellent.
I could think of these in advance, but
that
was
inspired.
So great.
All right. So, giant constrictor snake. I am looking that up, and it is, I think it's a large creature. So I'd like it to move up and kind of start to encircle as many of the imps as it can to make a little perimeter around it. Oh, it's a huge beast, so it's big.
Yeah.
Now, it does have a constrict ability, which is supposed to be targeted to one creature, but since they're so small and it's so big, would you let me try and grab more of them?
I think you could grab a section of them, a handful. Probably no more than 10 in any one grasp, but still,
right.
that's
fair.
Not a bad amount.
Very fair, DM. Thank you. Do you want me to roll just one thing?
Yeah, just give me one.
Yeah, okay. All right, so D20, here we go. Roll. That is a That is a 16 plus 6, 22 to hit.
Yeah, so this snake is able to get, let's say, 9 of these creatures in its grasp and begins constricting them. What happens?
Amazing. It deals 2d8 damage, which is going to be a very sad amount of damage. 7 bludgeoning damage, but all of them are grappled and restrained, and they can make an attempt to escape with the DC 16 strength.
Okay. Excellent. So I think what happens here is as the snake is constricting and grappling them and squeezing them, some of them simply pass out lifeless. But some of them are still alive. I would say that there's probably half and half. Probably like 4 are still breathing and 5 are down for the count.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Goku starts punch dancing on the spot.
As one does, yes.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Yeah.
Did you learn that from Estelle?
Oh, yeah.
That's excellent. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, that brings us to Sorsha.
Okay. What do I want to do? So, 2 questions.
Yes.
Koku's, is that inspiration a D8 or D6?
Yes.
D8.
D8.
Fabulous. Okay. Second question. If I was going to fire at the grappled and restrained, I have advantage, right?
You would. I believe so, yes.
Okay. I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Heck yeah.
Right into where she's grappled them. Oh, thank God, because that was a 1. All right. 19.
Okay, yeah, that's going to hit.
Okay. Oh, that was the first one. Second one is a 26.
Also going to hit.
And the third one is a 24.
Yeah, also going to hit.
Okie dokie, let's roll some damage. Alright, first one, 12, plus 10, 22, plus 11, 33 points of force damage.
Yeah, as your Eldritch Blasts hit these creatures, and you're very familiar with them, you watch as they are almost like just blinked out of existence with each of these blasts hitting. Boom, 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 as they seem to be just like popped right back into the plane from whence they came. Very, very easy to take care of. And, I mean, you're familiar with these creatures. They are kind of Hades' just basic minions. They're not that impressive. They're actually pretty useless. But there's a lot of them, and that's intimidating, perhaps, if you didn't know how useless they were. Yes. Excellent. That brings us actually to their turn. And there are a whole bunch of these creatures that are swarming out of the now smaller portal. But I would say there's maybe like somewhere in the range of 30 to 40 of them that have emerged from the portal and are flying, flapping their little demonic wings, spreading out, trying to find the nearest targets. And many of them would see you and move towards you. So what let's do, just everyone.
Because I would just say I would still have Spirit Guardians up.
You do still have Spirit Guardians. So as they move into your range to attack you, they will be affected by that. Let me roll attack rolls for everyone else. I'm just going to, for the ease of running this, because there's a swarm of them and there's a whole bunch, I'm just going to give 2 attacks to everyone. And if they hit, they hit. And if they don't, they don't.
Cool.
All right.
Questions first.
Yes.
I'm 60 feet away. Are they going to be able to get to me?
Sure. They have been spilling out of this portal for a while.
Yeah.
So the ones that are farthest out, that have already come through last round, are probably only 30 feet away from you and able to get to you in their movement. And their speed is actually 40 feet, so they can get pretty far. And so I would say that y'all are just on the edge of that range for those of you who have not moved forward yet.
And second question is, would my giant constrictor snake get an attack of opportunity on any of them if they're moving past it?
Definitely some. And we'll kind of use group mechanics. So if you want to give me 1 attack for your constrictor snake while I go around and do attacks against everyone else, when I get to you, give me that attack back.
You got it.
let's start with Sorsha, because I'm looking at your face on the screen right now. Okay, I don't think an 11 is going to hit, and I know for a fact that a 5 isn't going to hit.
Nope.
Let's go to Estelle. Does a 16 hit?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. And, a 6 is not going to hit. I have a natural 20 against Delilah. So that will probably hit, but I don't think an 8 will hit. So you're just going to take 1 attack. As we see this creature is going to reach out with pointed claws, scratching at you, striking at you. And you are going to take 9 points of slashing damage with these claw attacks that hit. Okay. Let's go to Koku's. Give me the attack from that snake.
17.
That is going to hit. One of these creatures has been attacked. What is the snake doing to attack it?
It is biting, so I imagine it's going to just like chomp down on a whole group of them, and it does 12 piercing damage.
Okay. It bites down on 3 of them that are kind of flying in like squadron formation with 1 at the point and 2 behind. And it just goes, home, and when the mouth opens back up, they're not there.
Whee!
And let's pop over to Ray. What kind of a save do I need to make as they enter your spirit guardians?
Wait, are they going to hit me?
Sure, I'll give you. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, the other one isn't going to hit.
Cool.
And you will take 8 points of slashing damage from another claw attack.
For me, it's a wisdom save 16.
Wisdom 16. All right, let's see what we got. Got a natural 20 on one, so that one is going to take half damage if I recall the spell correctly. And then the other one just flat out fails.
Wait, does it take half?
No,
it's just.
It doesn't take it?
Yeah, it does. It does take half damage
Okay.
on a successful save.
So,
okay.
yeah, roll me damage, and the one will take full damage, and the other one will take half damage.
Okay, so I rolled 17 radiant, and I'm just checking my radiant soul. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so just 17 radiant damage.
Okay, so
and then halved for whoever failed.
Yeah. So the one that fails, effectively just like gets into range with you and just disappears as the guardians around you just smite it out of existence.
Mm-hmm.
The one that makes it save is going to get an attack off against you. It's not going to hit.
Okay.
And it is in your range, and it is very dramatically hurt.
Okay.
It's kind of flapping with one wing, kind of struggling to stay aloft. Okay. That brings us to Delilah. Your turn.
How many of these imp things are left?
There are probably still 25-ish, maybe 30-ish around, but there are more coming out of the portal too.
So Delilah whistles. Sorry, I'm bad at whistling.
It's all
And
good.
she conjures an elemental.
Yes.
And she says, Ellie, Lucy, grab as many of these imps as you can and throw them into the portal. Can I use
Yes.
both the elemental and my demon at the same time to grab the imps? What are the rules on that?
Are they both concentration spells? That would be the only thing I'd be concerned about. If they're both concentration.
Elemental is definitely concentration.
Okay.
And then...
Is Summon Greater Demon a concentration? I feel
They
like it
are
might
both.
be to maintain
so-
control.
So
Yeah.
that's okay. I'll just use the elemental to grab as
Okay.
many imps as they can.
Okay. But you do have the Greater Demon summoned still, right?
I do.
Okay, so I
So
seem
that
to
would go
recall
away.
when
Yeah,
you lose
you're right.
concentration on Greater Demon, doesn't it just go wild? It's not controlled anymore, and it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
I'm pretty sure that's what it does.
It spends its turn pursuing and attacking the nearest non-demons to the best of its ability. An uncontrolled demon doesn't disappear for 1d6 rounds if it still has hit points.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So your demon will begin attacking the constrictor snake.
Oh no.
And your elemental
Wrong.
will begin throwing demons through the portal left and right.
Okay. Sorry, Snake.
It's
It's
okay.
Oops, my bad.
Could you give me an athletics check for your elemental to chuck demons through the portal? Kind of like bailing water out of a ship, just
11?
11. Okay. I would say with that, I mean, these creatures have a -3 strength modifier, so they're quite easy to move. They're tiny. And so your elemental is able to grab a handful, like 3 or 4, and shove them through the portal as this happens. And could you just give me an attack roll with your demon to see if it hits the snake?
19.
Okay, and what's the damage on that?
2d6 plus 3. 13?
Yeah, I'm still super good.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
Cool. The snake takes 13 damage as a new challenger appears.
So sorry.
No, it's all good. Yes. As this happens, that brings us to Estelle's turn.
Oh goodness, alright. Well, how far away is the portal again?
From you, it is probably like in the realm of 70 to 80 feet right now, and you could move
Okay.
forward if you wanted.
I'm not gonna move forward.
That's
I'm
fair.
going to Searing Sunburst a orb over the portal, and let's see what that does.
Yeah.
It's a range of 150 feet.
Uh-huh.
It's an orb that, let's see here, erupts into a sphere of radiant light for a brief but deadly instant. Each creature in that 20-foot radius sphere must succeed on a con save or take 2d6 radiant. I'm going to increase the damage, though, by spending 3 key points.
Yes.
So it's gonna take 8, 6 radiant damage,
Okay.
I believe.
Does this have any effect on allied creatures?
Let's see.
So it's radiant damage too.
Yeah, it's radiant damage.
Okay.
Who do I have that's over there?
It would, I think, just be the constrictor snake that is kind of in the thick of things.
Okay.
Kronk is so good.
Okay.
Just do it.
I'll just do it. Okay. It does, I believe. It just says every creature.
Okay.
I think.
So
Yeah.
each
the
creature.
constrictor snake will take that much damage. And Megan, if you could mark those hit points off of the demon as well. How much damage was it again?
8d6.
Oh, so yes, give me a roll for that. Yes.
I will do that.
Um,
4, 5.
Cool.
Okay, now it's rolling. Gotta use the D&D roller. D&D god. 26 points of damage.
All right.
Wow.
And is that half damage on
Good
a successful save?
Sorry, I'm like all over the place.
It's all good.
It just says... It doesn't say anything, so I think they don't take damage if they...
Okay.
What kind of save was it?
Con.
Yeah, I don't think I saved. I got a 10.
Okay.
That's fine though.
15 to save.
The snake just like starts to like go translucent and then fade and then just shrink into this tiny little kobold that I'm gonna have to go pick up on my turn.
Amazing.
no.
And I
good
feel like
news-
it's the same height as the imps, and they're all just
Yeah.
looking at each other.
Oh yeah. The playing field has been leveled. As this happens, though, these imps that have, I would say that about half of them save, but many of them are hit by this radiant damage, and it is it knocks so many of them out where they're just popping like popcorn out of existence left and right. I would say this leaves maybe 10 or so left that Grunk is staring down at this point.
I believe as a bonus action, I can use my... What is it called? Sorry, there's so many things to scroll through. I think I can use my Searing Arc Strike right after that, if that is considered an attack action.
That,
so I'm going to spend 2 more key points to cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
As a bonus.
You'll need to get a little closer, I believe, for that.
Are there any nearby us that I can use that on?
I think there are only 2 immediately in front of you, unless there's another character of our player characters that is close enough to be also within that range.
I still have 50 feet of movement, so if I can get within 15 feet of anything, a 15-foot cone, then I'll see if I can do that. Is that possible?
I would say you could get the ones in front of you and the ones attacking any 2 of your allies right now.
All right, so let's do that. So each creature in a 15-foot cone makes a dex save of 15. They take 3d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
Okay. All right. Give me some damage rolls, and I will roll some saves. And these are hot garbage. So, y'all, everything is going your way. 1 saves.
Excellent.
So 12 damage to anything that failed, 6 damage to whatever.
All right. Most of them, well, actually, they are, unfortunately, but you didn't know this, resistant to fire. So the ones that take full damage are still standing, but are definitely singed, but not dead. And the one that saved is fairly good.
Cool.
But you've gotten a lot of them with some damage, which is good. It's very good.
That's my turn.
Excellent. Ray, what are we doing?
Okay. Is there, within 60 feet of me, a grouping of these guys that I could get in like a 10-foot radius?
Yes. I believe that you have moved forward close enough to see into the ravine. There is one that is in combat with you right now, and so if you move, it'll get an attack of opportunity. But you could go and take a look either into the ravine at a small grouping of them there, or you could probably get the same small grouping that Estelle just hit, but hasn't quite knocked out yet.
I'll get the ones in the ravine, and I'll move. It's fine.
Yeah, so you will take 1 attack of opportunity, and I don't think that a 14 is going to hit your armor class.
Nope.
Okay.
So for those guys, that grouping, I can get a 10-foot radius. I want to cast Flame Strike on them.
Okay.
And it is a dex save of 16, or else they take half damage.
Okay, go ahead and give me the damage.
Okay, so it's 2 different types of damage. So it's 46 fire damage, which is 14. So I know they're resistant to that. And then the radiant damage is another 46. And that's going to be 16, but because I have Radiant Soul, I can deal an extra 11 radiant damage.
Yes.
So that'll be 27 radiant damage.
Okay. As this column of holy divine fire erupts out of the ground, striking them, the creatures in its range are just smited right out of existence. There's probably 5 or 6 that are still in the ravine, and then just the handful that have attacked y'all already. It seems like most of the demons that have already made it through the portal have been dealt with a couple of stragglers. But if you look through the portal, you'll see that there are more on the other side that appear to be trying to come through.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, since I didn't move my spiritual weapon, it's still by the group, right?
Yes.
So
yes,
would it be able to hit any of the ones over there?
Yes, you could hit one. You could either, I think, hit the one that was in melee range with you, or you could move it to make a strike against one of the ones that Estelle just hit.
I'll hit I'll try to hit one of the ones that Estelle hit.
Yeah, sure. Give me an attack roll with it.
15.
That's going to hit.
Okay. So that will be max damage. So 12 force damage.
Yes, as this gigantic golden glowing frying pan smacks down on this creature, it is no more. You have now made your second pancake of the day. And this one is a demon pancake.
Yes. Let's make a stack, right?
Yeah. You need at least 3 for a good short stack, so
yeah.
we gotta get one more pancake in there. All right. Yes. And that brings us to Koku's.
I was already unmuted. So did my mouthpiece leave?
It is still around, but just because it is subservient to you, you have not issued a command for it to attack or do anything in regards to the demons that are coming out of the portal. So it's just kind of awaiting orders at this point.
That's cool. I just noticed the mouthpiece like standing there, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's on a smoke break.
You. Yeah, all right, enjoy that. Is he just like smoking, like demon smoking, just emitting smoke? Great. Okay, I'll leave him. He seems busy. So first things first, let's keep you that portal. So dispel magic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my nat 20 on that.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. And that brings us to a total of what?
I add my spellcasting
your attack
20,
modifier.
Would be this is a bard spell or a druid spell. I know how to play D&D. It's either a +6 or a +9. I don't really know how that works with multi-class.
Either way, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
As you step forward and focus on this portal, having struggled with it, not like truly understanding the nature of it, when you tried to make a check last time, you have this sudden spark. And you're like, oh, I know what I need to do. And you step forward and you focus this magical energy on it, and it dissipates into little tendrils of smoke.
Woo!
Way to go, Kokus!
You have dispelled the portal. In the interest of time, there are just a handful of these demons left. And granted, you still got to deal with the greater demon that's running around, but y'all are pretty powerful. I feel like we can probably end combat here and just say, you take care of it. You take out the trash.
Sure.
Delilah's going to say to the demon, God, Lucy, you get so jealous whenever I have another companion summoned. She's going to hold up a water bottle full of like this green liquid and spray her and Eldritch Blast her.
Amazing. Yeah, if you would like to all describe what you might like to do to contribute to just get rid of the last couple of these, that would be awesome.
I will also break out my Eldritch Blast and just pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray's gonna get off like, I said Ray's gonna get off on like one like really strong guiding bolt, just so that like a guiding bolt will have hit. Not that I casted it yet, so it'll just be like one guiding bolt, and then she'll just swing her spiritual frying pan around.
Excellent. I love it.
I would say
get her short stack.
Estelle shoots out some sunbolts, but for flavor, they're just like these kissy lips that give all the little demons true love's kiss. And they suddenly turn like pink and happy and like
Aww.
I love it.
They just
True love's kiss.
Kokus?
Happy little demons.
Happy little
I'm
Demons deserve love too.
going. I'll say that I threw a bardic inspiration at someone.
Yeah.
In what they were doing, but then seeing that my friends mostly have it covered, I'm just gonna like lie down on the grass and look up at the sky, and I'm gonna cast Skywrite, and I'm just going to write Kokus and no ands. Kokus, Seorshi, Ray, Estelle, Delilah, brackets, and Adam, I guess, bracket, yay! And that just appears in the sky in giant clouds.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah. You all do this, and as you clean up the last little bit of combat, the demons go away. Even Lucy eventually, reluctantly, is gone. That mouthpiece of Koku's is still around. I don't know what you want to do with it, but
Oh, he's gonna come to the party, of course.
Sure.
I gotta show off my new mouthpiece.
Yeah, you got 8 hours, and then something may happen. You're not sure.
I'll deal with it then.
Yeah, that's fair. You have successfully stopped the incursion from the Underworld. You have saved not just this kingdom, but all of the kingdoms. And Sorsha, you may need to have a tough conversation with your boss at some point.
I'm looking forward to that. It's fine.
We'll back you up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
To close our adventure, you are able to return. You would not catch dinner or the dance this night back at the manor, but you could get one more excellent day of vacation before returning to your respective royal duties. Just as an epilogue, what do you think each of your characters would be interested in doing after this, or is there some next adventure on the horizon that they might have?
I think I would return to my friends in Peru with Misa in tow, but also my new kobold friend, who I'm just going to assume is going to be my friend forever now.
Yep, absolutely.
And I would like to give Kronk to my other friend with the same name.
Yes.
And then I imagine that when he gets it, he's like, right, the kobold from Cusco's kobold, the kobold that Cusco got.
Yes.
I said the wrong name. Kronk is getting used to my transition still. I forgive him. He's my friend.
Yes, that kobold.
And yeah, I would just continue my life. I would probably write several business proposals to the mountain resort for me to, buy them out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, by the end of the day, right, when you get back, you could have bought it out. I mean, money is not an object.
Nice. And then I send invitations to all my friends to come join me at my new mountain resort.
Heck yeah. Heck
I
yeah.
will be there.
Me too.
Delilah internally is thinking of ways she can break her link between her and her mother patron, Queen Ursulia, because she is quickly learning that she is not very nice. And she also wants to teach her half-sister that sometimes true love doesn't have to be romantic love.
Aw.
Yeah.
I love that. I think Sorsha would spend the majority of her time also trying to figure out how she can break this link and kind of just bracing herself from the talking to she's about to get. And she maybe would go up to Delilah and say, hey, you interested in kind of doing the research together? Maybe cut down on the work? Did you hear me?
My audio is cutting out. What
Oh
was that?
no! Sorry. I said I would go up to Delilah and say, "Are you interested in researching this link breakage together? We could cut down on the work."
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Excellent.
I think that we've had similar experiences, and I would
sure.
like to hear your stories for sure.
And I'd like
And
to hear
I want
yours
to
too.
also find out what all of your favorite bands are. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of 9 Inch Shells? They're my favorite.
I haven't, but I would love to hear them. Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
the Muses? They're my favorite.
No.
Yeah.
What kind
they're
of they're not screamo, are they?
No, they're not. No, they're
Okay,
very,
cool.
very vocally talented. Very pleasant to listen to.
Awesome. Okay. I would love to hear that someday.
Awesome. Let's get to it.
Cool.
Ray would have used this, she would have taken this tale, probably have I don't know, maybe Koku's help her put the words together into some great story, and go back to her parents with it and use this as an example to show that she doesn't need to be sheltered, and she can I don't know, maybe be a prominent figure in their country's army or something,
Yeah.
leaving the way, and work on that new life path.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for Estelle, you know, she's experienced that happily ever after is something that's continuously happening with all these stories that she's making with her friends, and she wants to help her friends have some happily ever afters too. So she'll help them escape from the clutches of those evil stepmoms that she's also experienced. So.
Excellent. Awesome. And that, my friends, is where we are going to end our tale today. I am going to get the giveaway put together very quickly. We have unlocked a couple of great giveaways. And so while I do that, why don't we go around very quickly and just share who everyone is and where we could find you. If I can put you on the spot, Megan, would you be willing to go first?
Sure. Hey everyone, my name is Megan Kenrick. You can find me on Twitter, also on Twitch at Megan Kenrect. Also on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, I am on D&D Beyond's Silver and Steel. I play Sophias, the alchemist artificer who's really into butter. You should come check us out.
It's a good time. Yeah. And Shelby, who are you? Where can we find you?
My name's Shelby. I'm mainly on Twitter. I'm like trying to maybe kind of get on Twitch if I can, I don't know, figure it out. And so my ad is just Shelby as a nerd on everything. So come hang out with me.
Yes, excellent. Danny?
That's me. My name's Danny. Danny Gage here. Not Yogani as a last name. People think that's my last name.
It'd be cool.
It'd be a cool name.
It is a cool name. I think both my names are really cool. But yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Danny Yogani. And you know, I also have a Etsy business called Hoop and Loom where I make custom dice bags and stickers for all you dice lovers out there. So yeah, check it out. I got a lot of stickers. I just put up a Redbubble that has some really cute dice patterns that I'm frankly kind of obsessed with. So
They're cool. They're really cool.
Yeah, those are really amazing bags.
Yeah.
Go check those out.
Absolutely. Shannon.
Yeah, and Danny, I may or may not have purchased a few things from your Redbubble, and I cannot wait until they get here. But hi, everybody. My name is Shannon. You can find me at sroby25 on everything. My main hangout is on Paradise RPG. I am a cast member over there, as well as the community manager. And on Monday nights, we play our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise, where I play Scarlet, my fireball of a rogue who I love oh so much. And we would love to have you. And we have the Tim and Shannon Power Hour tonight at 7 on our Twitch channel if you'd like to come hang out.
Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, Lily.
Hey, I'm the girl with many lives, Lily Sparks. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Lily Sparks with an X. What do? I am a GM over on Satine Phoenix's Gilding Light channel. You can catch me there on Sundays doing a psychedelic magical girl adventure with some really awesome people. I am also going to be DMing a campaign on the Scraticus channel next season, so that should be starting in July, and that's going to have Critical Bard, it's going to have White Rabbit Pig, just lots of awesome people, and low-key, it might be a Pokemon game that's in D&D, so very excited for that. And yeah, I also play on other channels. I play on Scraticus, I play on WebDM, and I play on Tales from the Grim. Lots of stuff. Follow me on social media to get all this stuff. And thank you so much for coming out to support this cause. It's very close to my heart, and you know, just means the world to have so many awesome people to play with, but also to watch the shows and hang out. So thank you so much. And thank you, Josh, for being an amazing DM.
Thank you,
It's
Josh.
so stylish.
Amazing.
I've been looking forward to this for such a long time. I'm glad that we finally all got together to do this.
This is so great. You all are wonderful.
That was so fun.
You're also
few
funny and
people asked
creative.
Yes. A few people asked if this was going to be a campaign.
I
and
saw
I was
that.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, I'm down.
You know, at the very least, maybe a series of repeated one-shots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a
There you go.
I love
monthly
it.
get-together.
Yeah.
Monthly
We could do
princess
it.
party.
Different-
Yes.
Have different princesses every game.
Yes.
We could do that.
Oh,
We'll
man.
we'll
I
talk.
love that.
We'll talk and maybe forthcoming details. Okay. So, we've got some giveaways set up, and what you need to do in order to be entered to win this giveaway, and there's a number of them, and I'll tell you what each one is before we draw, is you just have to be active in chat, which means you have to type something, share an emote, whatever you would like. So I'm going to give everyone a moment right now to do that. And while we do that,
eligible for this giveaway?
yes, y'all are eligible for this giveaway. Yeah, so I hope that everyone has had fun. I'll stall by telling you who I am. My name is Josh. This is my channel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and other places at Joshua M. Simons. And if you want to stay up to date as to what I have going on my Twitch channel here, I do have a Discord that you can join. I'll drop that in chat really quick. Oh, I can type. No, I can't. There it is. Thank you, Eva. And so you're welcome to come, and I will share updates for, what am I streaming this week, and that type of thing. I've been hyping this game up for a while in there, including sharing sneak peeks of the overlay that you're looking at now. I think that's been long enough for everyone to get in. So I'm going to draw. Our first giveaway is for a Found Familiar gift card. So let me pull that very quickly. Maverick 2. One of my mods will be reaching out to touch base with you. If you don't hear anything by the end of the day, please message me, but I trust that someone is going to reach out to you for the Found Familiar coffee. It is good coffee. Next up, we've got 2 D&D Beyond codes to the new D&D book, which is, hold up, I've actually pulled it up so that I can see it in front of me, the Mythic Odysseys of Theros, featuring cool mythological creatures, and also includes that creature that we fought today, the Typhon, is kind of a Hydra-esque creature. So, the first giveaway code for that is going to Shelby. Heck yeah.
No, redraw.
Redraw?
Yeah.
Okay. Midwest Miniature Guy.
Yay!
So, you will get 1 copy of this book on D&D Beyond. We'll go ahead and one of our mods will reach out to get your information so that I can get that sent over to you. I'll probably send everything out tomorrow, not gonna lie, just because I'm a little tired. But there's a second code, so let's give that away. And it's gonna go to Nicola. So
Hey, congrats!
congratulations. And I just saw you mentioned Midwest Miniature Guy. If you don't use D&D Beyond, you are welcome to pass that along to a friend who does. Or you could just start having the digital book. It's kind of handy. I like being able to have it up in another tab on my browser while I use D&D Beyond.
And D&D Beyond is like mostly free. Like you can definitely use it for free, and it's very functional.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
It is. I use their encounter builder to build all of our combats today. So it's very easy, and I just click go and just punch in initiative numbers, and it runs everything for me, which is great. Next up, we have not 3 sets of Die Hard dice like was initially promised, but thanks to our friends over at Die Hard Dice, we are giving away an additional extra special Forte dice set, which is the new dice that they have just announced and released in conjunction with our friend Critical Bard. They are these beautiful purple dice, and you can get either silver or gold ink. So when we reach out to get your information, you'll have to indicate to us whether or not you want the silver ink or the gold ink. Let's start with the blue Die Hard dice set, because those were the first ones that I was told about, and they're gorgeous. And I'll put pictures of all of these dice and things in my Discord for anyone who wants to see. And it went to Stream Elements, so we're not going to go to them. Patchster, you have won the blue Die Hard dice set.
Yay!
All right, and now we've got a green set, and so we're gonna do the green set, which goes to Danny.
Oh no, go ahead and redraw it.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
as exciting as it is, and I love dice so much.
It's
redraw it.
pulled Lily.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I've always told everyone my alignment is chaotic neutral, so thank you all so much for being here, but I want my dice.
They are beautiful
I was
dice.
like, Lily, dice queen. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
They are beautiful dice. So yeah, congratulations. And there is a clear dice set as well from Die Hard Dice, which Critical Bard, I believe you said you wanted us to redraw if it was you, right?
Silence. Dead silence.
Redraw, okay. It's not Nightbot. Con, confound it. Congratulations.
Yay.
You get the clear Die Hard dice.
Congrats.
Excellent.
That's amazing. And Celeste, but not least here, we have the Forte dice set. I'm going to do the giveaway for that. I am so excited. I'm going to buy these dice the moment they are available on the store. And that goes to Speaking Stone Studio.
Yay!
Yeah. Again, our mods are going to reach out and get information, but there's a lot of names, and it's hard to keep track sometimes. So if you won something and don't hear from a mod, go ahead and send me a message, and I will sort it out. Thank you so much. Right now, going on in the D&D community, there is a cool event happening over on the Venture Maidens channel. It's called a D&D block party, and they are doing some phenomenal things. Right now, I believe they are doing a panel slash maybe a competition. I'm not sure. I'm just looking at the preview on my screen in terms of how to write and design D&D content. So we are going to go raid the Venture Maidens.
Trevor Project.
And they're raising money for the Trevor Project. You're right.
Yay!
Some of our friends here have been involved with stuff going on over at that channel. It's very exciting. So we're going to set up a raid, but for myself and for the rest of the cast, thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, everyone.
I love you so much. This was so fun. And thank
Yeah.
you, Josh, for all of your hard work in setting
Yes,
this
thank
up.
you.
This was amazing.
And the mods. Thank
It
you.
has
yes,
been a
thank you,
blast.
mods.
Josh.
Thank you, mods.
Sponsors.
So I'm going to get the
Like
raid
joy.
going, and we will talk to you next time. Everyone, have a
Take
good
care,
rest of your day.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.